It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego political, my ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, my ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, my ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego die political, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary political, my ego don't come,
Hello there.
My ego now I'm on,
Good morning to you again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun Live. Raise up your hand like this if you can hear me loud and clear. It seems that the battle is already half won, if not fully won. It is called the Fubara's Day in Rivers State today. I've already concluded that it's over for Wike, but a Wike will be like that snake that instead of you cutting off the head, and you mistakenly cut it into half, it can still kill. Like this broadcast, share it. After reading the caption of it, the description of the broadcast, like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that we might go today. The first part we're going to treat tonight is that of the concern raised by the Arewa Consultative Forum. You know them. They are supposed to be the socio-political group representing the Arewas. They are afraid that if the killings, the banditry, they call it, I call it the terrorism that is bedeviling Nigeria continues, right? They say it will lead to the disintegration of Nigeria if it should continue for the next 5 years. Meanwhile, Kwakwanso also added something to what we have to talk about this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, the first thing you have to do after liking the broadcast is to share it. We are starting in a second. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in into Mayegun's Diary Political, the Temple of Truth, TOT. Tonight, dear brethren, let's start our gist from the concern raised by the ACF, Arewa Consultative Forum. It comprises of different characters from northern part of Nigeria, including partly the middle belt part of Nigeria. They are considered as the topmost socio-political group of the politically conscious leaders of northern Nigeria. And when I say northern Nigeria, the way they normally put it is to say including the middle belt. I know that is changing now, okay? However, when you say the north and the south, right? But this is a socio-political group created to give an identity, a sort of a leadership identity to some of these people from the northern part of Nigeria, who also, when it is convenient, will consider the middle belt part of Nigeria as a northern part of Nigeria. But no thanks to Bokwari, who has changed all of that today. The people of the middle belt are distancing themselves from this Arewa, that, because according to them, when it is politically convenient, is when they are considered as part of the north. But when it is not, when these they are Islamic jihadist terrorists harmed by the same political class of the Arewa clan were killing the people of the middle belt, Arewa Consultative Forum were not really kind of keen or interested in defending them. However, you know them very well. They have so much influence when it comes to the socio-political stuff from this Arewa North. They raised an alarm. It's not new. It's just the tone that kind of caught my own attention. And what is the tone? They said these killings, this terrorism, which they have not really been very vocal about under Bokwari, because back then, when Bokwari was the president of Nigeria, as a Fulani Muslim northerner, okay, they believed that the rest of us that are called, they were calling him out over his incompetence and his collusion, where the military of Nigeria were shielding these Fulani terrorists, including even the Boko Haram terrorists, that were considered as their misguided brothers from northern Nigeria. We were called enemies of Nigeria or enemy of the north. In fact, asking for Bokwari to resign at the time or call for the end of his murderous regime was considered as an attack on northern Nigeria. It was so bad, guys, it was so bad that when the southerners or the southern governors convened a meeting, a security meeting where they decided to ban open grazing, the movement of cows by foot by this murderous jihadist called Fulani terrorists. This Arewa North and their governors, they called a meeting. It was such a funny one, right? That even the people of the governors of the Middle Belt, where the Fulanis were wreaking havoc at the time, attended the security meeting. And the outcome was that the southern Nigeria could not ban the movement of cows. In fact, it was an attempt, an attack on the north at the time. But now, Bokwari is no longer in charge. Even though they are still the ones controlling the security apparatus of Nigeria to some extent, right? The Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of, Defense States, and so on, right? They are now more vocal. They are voicing out now is that the killings in northern Nigeria is so much that they believe that thiefnubu's government deliberately underreporting it. Not just that, the media in Nigeria, they are underreporting what is going on in the north. They said almost half of the north is no longer under the control of Nigeria. It is not new. It didn't start yesterday. It's been like that since under Bokwari, where terrorists were collecting taxes in Nigeria for areas where the Nigerians, the northerners, couldn't run away, right? Stayed back. They will pay taxes to cultivate their farm. They will pay taxes, right, to harvest their farm. And to even breathe, to live in that place, they pay taxes. Whenever the terrorist feels like the military comes in, or they possibly like attack or kill them, the terrorists will take the revenge on the people. Almost half of Niger State is no longer under Nigeria. Half of Borno State is no longer under Nigeria. I mean, 1/3 or so of Katsina State is no longer under Nigeria. To the point that under Bokwari, they recorded those places as ungoverned area. It stretched so far to the north central of Nigeria, as far as Kwara State. There are some towns or communities in the current Kwara State of Nigeria that are being controlled by terrorists. But they said, even though thiefnubu may be telling you that they are clamping down on them, the worst case thing is that as more people have become refugees, internally displaced persons in Nigeria, most of those communities that were taken over by terrorists, they were still under the control of the terrorists. Like the people have not been returned back to their communities. So Arewa Consultative Forum are now feeling like if these things continue for another 5 years, most of these areas totally will be somehow balkanized from Nigeria, to the point that the terrorists can actually have their own country within Nigeria. They already have their own states. So, and they are raising alarm that in the next 5 years, if things continue like this, it may lead to the disintegration of Nigeria. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, a lot of us who have been talking about the breakup of Nigeria. Now, I believe that majority of those who are supposed to be the intellectuals that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called intellectuals, the supposed intellectuals who were supposed to add their voice in simplifying the positivity, the advantage of breaking down this hegemony called, this contraption called Nigeria, which is a fake expression, okay? Breaking it down starts from breaking down the entire establishment that continue to hold on to this massive place that is not to the benefit of the citizens of that country. Rather, they have been adding their voice to why it is not plausible. It is not a good idea for Nigeria to break the system into, starting with, break the system into parts where people of like minds, same language, culture, tradition, and the rest of them, right? They could actually handle and manage their own affairs, right? Even if it's going to be like a small clan and all that, right? Okay, But first thing first, break this contraption from what it is currently known as. Some people suggested that, okay, breaking up of Nigeria could be systemic. Okay, systemic in the sense that presently we're all fused and forced together, and the people who created this local government, these states, they never consulted with anybody, including the people who currently occupies all of these states in Nigeria. We were never consulted, to the point that people who have nothing in common, they were fused together in the same local government areas, in the same estates, that we are still, every little chance we have, we will turn on ourselves and start killing ourselves. So some said, listen, people like us believe that breaking up of Nigeria doesn't have to happen like a sudden. But the people who are part of Nigeria today, they have the right to choose if they want to be part of this Nigeria. And if they choose to be part of this Nigeria, right, it must come from what we believe as some arrangements, all right, whereby they say, okay, if we have to still continue to be part of this, so, okay, how about you let us form our own little union or confederation within this space? People of same culture, tradition, or similar, right, language and all that. Erase all these Fulani created states, fake boundaries that were drawn and divided brothers from brothers and turned brothers against brothers. But no, they said no. Nigeria, the minority in Nigeria, they cannot survive the majority. For example, some of them said, if Nigeria break up, the Yorubas, we don't really like ourselves. And then the only reason why it is better this way is because Nigeria makes everybody believe that, even though it's not really like, agreeable, but somehow, some people still feel like they belong in this contraption in a way that if they break up Nigeria today, right, some bigger group from these subgroups, they will now begin to oppress the other smaller group. This is their argument, okay? Then I went back, I said, listen, before they started the creation of states in Nigeria, there was something called regions, right? It wasn't perfect. But guess what? It was the closest that people had to having what you can call their government. There were conditions that allowed every ethnic and tribes within this geographical space, right, that shared one or two things in common to live long enough that today it is still considered as one of the best and glorious times of this contraption called Nigeria, when you had regional system. Awolowo was an Ijebu man, okay, where you have where we had Akintola and Ogbomoso man. Now, Awolowo and Ijebu man with other people who were also like parliamentarians from all other part of Yoruba land. I'm talking about all the tribes that makes up what is today's Yoruba land, right? They had an assembly where everyone's interest genuinely was represented. If you see a lawmaker, if you see one lawmaker that is an Igbira, or you see a lawmaker that is an Ijebu, or you see a lawmaker that is an Egba, she is there representing the interest of the Egbas. He or she is there representing the interest of the Oyos. Therefore, your identity is not mixed. Then when they now kind of erased all of that, enough that somebody will now say, I am representing Ogun Central, I am representing Oyo West. And by the time you go to the place they created and called Oyo West, you will see the conglomeration. And this person may be from one of the tribes there, right? Representing about, or claiming to be representing about like 15 to 16 different tribes within that space. And to him, he is only loyal to his own tribe. Everything else he does for other people from that same place, right, is considered as privilege, not right. Okay? And to this day, it has brought us the worst underdevelopment and poverty. So when you see these educated people that will come around and say, Nigeria cannot go back to regional system. If you go to regional system, some people will be dominating others. There was nothing called dominating others. Let me give you another example. When they had the Eastern region, before they politically created the Midwestern region at the time, you have Western region, you have the Eastern region, right? So the Eastern region at the time comprises of like more than 50 to 60 different tribes, and they were all represented in the Eastern House at the time. So if somebody is coming and say, I am from Ijo, you will see an Ijo representative. He is not there to speak for a BBO. You will see a Yoruba representative. He is not there to speak for the Efik. He is representing his people and their interest, and clearly, he is never discriminated upon. Today, they match everyone together to the point that, you can really say, they do not represent anyone but themselves. So even if you don't want Nigeria to break up like that, if you still want this Nigeria to exist in a way, how about we kind of like promote the idea that says, let the people decide what type of government they want to run, what system of government they want to operate within their own space, not an idea that some are currently telling us that the only problem of Nigeria is that leadership. So we just need leadership. And I said this before, even if you bring somebody that tries to say he wants to, number one, no single person can change anything anymore in that contraption, the way it is set up. Okay? An Hausa or Fulani man, a Fulani man that was supposed to be a northerner, is interested in the Fulanis. Meanwhile, in that same northern part of Nigeria, it's not just the Hausas or Fulanis that make up the place. You have different ethnic nationalities who come from different ethnic nationalities or tribes who come from that place. Who owns the land? But because of the way Nigeria is set up right now, nobody is representing anybody but their own clan. So Arewa enjoyed what they call the northern dominance for 8 years. And the rest of us, where we could go to places for all they care. Now, just to claim power, the Fulanis that are not indigenous to Nigeria, they have positioned themselves because of the opportunity given to them by Nigeria. They are not in any way, right? They do not have any allegiance to any of these indigenous people from this yellow part of northern Nigeria, or the green part of that northern Nigeria, or the Shua people, or any of these places, right? They do not hold them anything because indigenously they are not indigenous to Nigeria. But if you ask all these people if they still want to be part of Nigeria, under what conditions, then we can begin to have this solution, right? Then when you come to Yoruba land, for example, or you go to the Igbo land, or you go to the Igala land, or TV land, or all these areas, and you ask them, what kind of government do you want? What kind of administration would you want if you still want to be part of Nigeria? Now, people will come from all these places because their political godfathers pushes them. You will see people who have no allegiance to any of this land claiming to be representing them. But when you look at all of their actions and things they are doing, they do not hold any allegiance to these people. And that's what brought us to this level. That is why when they talk about security or securing the lives of people in Nigeria, when you look at the people talking about this, they do not hold anybody real allegiance than their own people, or try to make as much effort as possible, right, to put themselves and their people above others. And these are the people who are telling us that if we break up Nigeria, some smaller, some bigger group are going to dominate smaller. Are they not dominating them right now? When they have power, when they had the power, everything was fine. Just pray for Nigeria. If you disagree, that means you hated them. That means you hated Nigeria. It didn't work. A Yoruba man is there right now. Abi, And that Yoruba man who happened to be from Iragbiji, and then he was from Lagos as well, like, claimed to be from Lagos. Right now, the Yorubas are vulnerable in Nigeria. We are exposed, Abi, to who? To the terror of this same Fulani terrorists. But we can't talk. Because some Yorubas will be like, if you begin to criticize this person, if they remove him now, what is going to be our lot? Meanwhile, we are being oppressed. In this same contraption Nigeria, we're not represented. But they will tell you, hey, but you should be a Yoruba man be the president. Maybe the Yorubas are the ones in charge. And just like the Fulanis were told, and as well as the Northerners, who were not Fulanis. The Fulanis were killing Hausas, killing the Mangas, killing the Koyams, killing the Kanuris, killing all these people. Even though the Kanuris, who are also part of the Boko Haram, killing other people in this part of northern Nigeria. Those who are supposed to speak and defend them, they were shielding the terrorists. Now, those who are from that place, instead of them to speak up, they were told to keep quiet. A northerner is in charge. Do you want him to be removed? If they remove him now and they put a southerner there, what is going to be your lot? Now, that northerner is gone. And the north that has bled and bled and bled their own people for this political selfishness, the smart people in the room will come and tell us that if we break up or if we go to regional this, some group will be dominating the other. What breaking up simply means is that people will decide a system that allows this dominance that they've kind of made you to get used to. It's okay. It is okay if some people dominate you this way. It's going to be worse if you go to regional system. Or do you want the Egbas to dominate you in Yoruba land? Or do you want the Oyos? Do you want the Ijebus? That as Nigeria is right now, what they need is just good leadership. Good leadership from what? From what system? A system that is put in place to keep you totally suppressed and oppressed and your voice dead. So if Arewa feels like Nigeria is going to break up because of the Fulanis and the Fulanis murderers, the Fulani terrorists, and the Yoruba man is being expected to act on that, I don't know how that is going to be different from what Bukwari offered. So last, it is going to be a bloody civil war eventually. And to those of you, the intellectuals, the intellectuals, who believes that this contraption can be remedied only if you can get a good leader. All we need is just a good leader. If we elect one good leader, after the end of that good leader, in your own experience of Nigeria, what's going to happen after? All your problem will be fixed. That you are worried that some people are going to become the controller of that regions. Who are the controllers of Nigeria today? Are the families, different families from either Yoruba, the Igbos, or the Fulanis, or the Hausas. Are those who are currently holding on to the wealth of Nigeria not individuals? Are they not family members of, are they not families of people you know? Are they not names that if you begin to mention their names from the west to the east to the north to everywhere, are they not individual? Are they not families? So these people are telling you that if we break up now, Yoruba land will be controlled by the thiefnubus. That is if the Yorubas let that. Breaking up the system simply means the people will decide how they are to be governed. If you don't believe that it is possible for people to decide, for the first time to actually decide how they want to be governed, the kind of government they want to run, people want you to not believe that. Asking you to believe that Nigeria can work only if you can elect good leaders. Arewa Consultative Forum. If you have been opposed to this going back to regional system, even if you are, let's assume that you don't want Nigeria to break up, fine. But everybody agrees that this current Nigeria is not in anybody's interest at all. And if you still want it to exist and continue to exist, it cannot exist in this way. People must be given the chance to decide if they want to be part of this or not. And there's something I actually believe that some of us who want to see this contraption like end, we must begin to know that it is going to be done politically. And a lot of you that are not interested in their politics, you better begin to get interest. The right people who love their own people and love their regions, you must aspire to take over power from these criminals and selfish people. Yes, we say this Western world, they dominate and ensure that Africa never really get free, or we are never free. The thing is this: they are not doing it alone. We have selfish, weak men and women who have taken over power across Nigeria. And their selfishness, their greed is the access point to those who never want us to prosper or be safe. So you better begin to actually show interest in taking that power from them, from town to, from villages to towns, from towns to cities, from cities to regions. You better begin to have interest. I'm not asking you to go and run and contest in their charade elections, but when I say get interested in their politics, it simply means that you must be interested in taking over the leadership of from the smaller parts of wherever you can. You must begin to have interest in that, and whatever he's going to take. Or else, no be they also hold us down. No. Now we they hold ourselves. Now we they hold ourselves down, because they have ensured that you are never going to be interested. A lot of us have left that contraption. We are currently maybe comfortable wherever we are. We do not want to get involved in their dirty this, dirty that. You would have to, if you really want to free, or if you want us to be free. The leadership of that land, and I'm not saying Nigeria, I'm talking about your clan, your people. The leadership of that land must fall back in the hand of the right people who actually love their people, who love their land. If you don't have that authority, if you don't have that power, we will never, ever be free. I'll do more series on this. And you do not have to agree with me, because it seems that we are now living in a world where a lot of people are so confused right now that some of us are actually just waiting to die. What can we do? What should we do? There's nothing we can do. There is what we can do. Those who are currently holding the power, holding the leverage, especially in Yoruba land, right? These are wrong people that they are very much comfortable selling us off. Nigeria is paying their bills. Nigeria is giving them whatever they want. All of us can go and die. And that is why they will tell you, Nigeria is not breakable. Nigeria is, we just have to pray for Nigeria. Or we just have to make it work. Meanwhile, they are doing everything to undermine our freedom. They are destroying our education, destroying our liberty, destroying our health, destroying our land, our environment, destroyed our security, destroyed our self-esteem. Our people have become like subjected to just people who are just living or existing for existence sake. Why all of us are probably asking them to do the right thing that they would never do, ever. So Arewa, maybe someday we are going to have the generation of Arewas that will understand that this Nigeria that they are telling you, or they are making you believe that you are born to rule, is actually not in your interest. Keeping this contraption together is in nobody's interest. And when we kind of have that generation, we can have what is called the handshake across the Niger, from the west to the east, to the middle belt, to the north, to every corner of that contraption. A generation that will understand that keeping this contraption as it is right now is not in your interest. It is in the interest of this selfish few, and it must end the moment you discover that. Going forward, in Rivers State today, this is now politics again, right? This afternoon, we started a bit of a coverage on what would happen from what we have been following in the last few weeks concerning the political upheaval between Wike and Fubara in Rivers State. I have done enough series on this that what I'm just going to give now is just pure updates. To those who feel like they have been edged out of this power play, the Wike team, I do not sympathize with them. Neither do I empathize with them. We saw it coming, and in fact, to some other people, they are very proud of what Fubara has achieved. I bet wrongly, it doesn't even really matter at this point. If you say he did it wrongly, that would be based on, you know, what they call where you stand. If you think he did it rightly, that also will determine which part of the side you belong to. I do not have a dog in this fight. I am just kind of using all these happenings to show to you why I am more convinced that except this contraption is renegotiated, this whole union of a thing called Nigeria is rediscussed, it will never get better. And the people will continue to be the victims of his existence. With a Wike and it's a political godfatherism that he wants to establish in Rivers State has been under serious attack from last year, 3 months after he left power. When what was supposed to be an agreement between himself and his political stooges, the person who had the highest, the biggest cake or the biggest meat in the soup, the governor, Fubara, decided that it was unquestionable for a whole state like Rivers State, the second richest state in Nigeria, to be giving out 30% of our allocation to one man for politics. It's unheard of. It didn't, I think there was never a record that Fubara wanted to renegotiate. He just cancelled it outrightly. No shishi, we know they give him anything. And that triggered a series of events from last year. Now the guy is sort of building his own political base now to be able to withstand whatever Wike will throw at him in the future. All of this, where the two elephant fights, the grass, they say, will suffer. So it all came to head today. With Fubara, or could Fubara pull this off? Get rid of everything that has to do with Wike and get away with it. Well, it seems that he's done that already. So today, or before today, the state high court, which has the jurisdiction over River State, ruled that there must be an election. Then Wike and his gang, they went to Abuja, outside the jurisdiction of this Abuja court, to go and seek an ex parte order, an order to stop an election. And stopping the election is not because of any other thing than it's also political. The Supreme Court of Nigeria ruled that any local government, or any state, rather, any state in Nigeria that fails to conduct local government elections must never be given the local government allocations, which means the only state, the state with elected local government officials are the ones that are legally allowed to receive local government allocation. So in follow-up to that, Fubara and his guys, knowing that they were not going to be allowed to run on the platform of PDP, their party, they floated another party. And within 60 days or so, they filled the whole place up. And an election date was chosen. Sensing the danger that this was a total miscalculation, because local government elections in Nigeria is never an election. It's mostly selection and coronation. You just need to be on the side of the ruling party or the governor in power. So in this case, the ruling party in the River State is PDP. But they've changed the governor. The party is controlled by the former governor, his boss. Therefore, he had no power to make his own loyalist flag bearers of this local government election. So he urged them to go to another party, which they did. And then they went on around the state to tell everybody that they are now APP. And the guy himself came out and said, my party is not participating. Because PDP staged different protests to say they will not participate because there will be no election. They were relying on the court ex parte order that does not have jurisdiction in River State. But because Nigeria is a lawless place, they still went on with it to the point that the police IG, Igbetokun, became the INEC chairman for River State. Igbetokun started acting based on the Federal High Court that does not have any jurisdiction in River State. And the court said they must maintain status quo, there shouldn't be any election. And if there is no election, River State can receive local government allocations. So the battle line was drawn. This time around, the River State, Fubara, River State people. Because if they don't receive allocation, the fight between Fubara and Wike will then affect millions of other people from all these local government areas. Local government workers will not be paid. Whatever it is they needed to use money for, developmental this or that in the local government areas, they will not happen. But because of this political selfishness, they took an ex parte order to stop the election so that they can stop the allocation. And the police IG of Nigeria took side and then threatened the state to say they will not give protection if the state governor should go ahead with that election, local government elections. True to his word, he withdrew some of the policemen that were supposed to be part of the election. He transferred the police commissioner out of the state. In all this, right, just to make sure that they don't have their election, and the people of River State are subjected to what is called perpetual hardship because of disagreement of two people. So this morning, when the people were preparing to probably go and vote, the Nigerian policemen were mobilized to get ready to snatch the election materials, destroy the ones they can destroy. Well, like I said, local government elections in Nigeria is not an election. It's just a formality whereby you can call it a selection to coronation. And they knew that. So if Fubara succeed, it will dismantle whatever political structure Wike has been bragging about. So the battle line was drawn. And this morning, people went on to go and vote. Police came and started shooting, stealing their ballot boxes and all of that. And this evening, the RISIEC declared, from what I read on my way here, so far, out of the 23 local government areas, they have declared 22 won by Fubara's men, APP. Like I told you, if not tomorrow, first thing on Monday morning, they will do swearing in for all these guys. And whoever doesn't agree can go to courts. So we are going to go to River State now, where I have brought to you some of the happenings as they happened today. Just some. Let's start with this one.
Some of them here say the police came, according to their narration, at the Ward 19 Operation Center. And according to their narration, that the police came and disrupted the process and scattered the whole place. But according to some of them too, they said the police came late, that they had finished the elections and they had already counted before the police arrived to disrupt the process. This is Ward 19 in Fubara.
As you can see, the election is ongoing and very peaceful. This is Rumigbo, Obiakpo, in Obiakpo local government area, Ward 12. The election is very peaceful. One of the most peaceful elections in Rivers State. The people are here to vote their choice of political candidates. Today is October 5th. 2024, and this is Obiakpo.
We want to appreciate the people for coming out with masks to cast their vote. Despite that, we have those who are distracting, who want to distract the election. But by the grace of God, this has indeed done well. They've done like 8% of what we expected them to do by doing the right thing. And in line with what the Supreme Court have said, that we should conduct the election within the 90 days. Elections to be held in Rivers State. But by the grace of God, we are very happy, and we want to thank our people for coming out and voting us. We're also aware that some people have started, leading protests. We're also aware that this state belongs to all of us. It's a gospel state. We have a governor who is the chief executive officer of the state, and what is happening is a normal thing. The man who says he wants to own Rivers State, the current minister of the FCT, Chief Minister Wike, cannot own Rivers. Rivers State is too big for one man to own as a private estate. And people are clapping for him. And let me also say that, in the 2023 election, Wike told Nigerians that he's going to support the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as the candidate of PDP then to run that election. He knows that reverse was the case. So he's just said that the man does not keep to his word. He's a man that speaks to the vote of his mouth. And he also said that he's not going to be a minister. Today, just Wike is a minister, and he's here to cause crisis in our states. He also said that Atiku and others were, doing protests, SUG. Today, today Wike has led integrity men in Rivers State, and they're just protesting. And I that what goes around comes around. You can't have it. The same thing has happened. Wike did it to Amaechi. So it's a lot of karma. By the grace of God, the governor has said he's going to swear anybody who emerged as the elected chairman on Monday. My advice to the police is that they are disgracing Nigerians in the international community. The IG of police has turned himself to be a boy.
This is one of the fairest and peaceful, seamless elections ever to be held in Rivers State. You can see the atmosphere is fully charged. Our people are out here to vote. Elections are truly going on in Rivers State, and I want to thank RISEC for the timely delivery and arrival of voting materials. This is unprecedented. We've never had it like this before. Unlike other times where most times voting material arrives by 12, and at the end of the day, voters are already tired. Now we've been accredited, I have voted. You can see other persons are voting. The local government, reports I'm getting from other parts of the local government, Port Harcourt City local government, is also good and favorable that our people are out there voting.
Thank you very much. And you can see what the police is doing, causing crisis in a state that has a governor. We can't have to govern in Rivers State. Wike has reached the of God. Wike is trying to. Let me tell you, those who are even supporting Wike, call them Rivers, they are just playing him. And I want to call on them to allow Wike to live. Why Wike to live long? What they are doing is to stress the man. They are doing to stress the man. So for us, we're going to be anybody who emerge will go into the council. And I want to advise the IG of police that he should immediately withdraw his men if election is being concluded and allow peace to reign. He's giving Nigeria bad image in the international community. That's what the IG is doing. It's very wrong.
Engineer Anabra, the LGA returning officer for Okobo Nkoro local government, hereby announce the candidate of Action People's Party (APP), Right Honorable Inyada Kukigam, having pulled the highest vote cast, the winner of the October 5th, 2024 local government election in Okobo Nkoro, Rivers State. Thank you.
Thank you.
What will I see from us? I can hear from him. Please.
The governor of Rivers State was standing to say that this local government and also say that people of the and also explain their law for the family. And I want to assure them that this government is also them and they are also going to also smile. Yes, having considered the sharing policies, I assured them of human capital. I assured them
So, to them, the election is already won and lost. But the police IG, who has taken side, by the way, continue to threaten the governor. But last, it is more or less like the guy has already, put the rug under the feet of Wike. According to his own supporters, yes, Wike is living in the past. Is being deceived by these guys still parading themselves in Rivers State. As long as he's sending them money, that they will make sure that that election never hold. But like I said this afternoon, the purpose is not to really have everybody to vote. The purpose is to actually put out the optics. The optics is that we have the videos where people were voting. We have videos where some people were destroying ballot, this and that. The result has been written. And all it will take is just to announce it. And if you are not comfortable with that, go to court. And according to these guys as well, it is just a god of karma. Where the Wike taught them how to be this shrewd, how to be this, kind of like audacious, confrontational, and at the same time, rugged. So if Wike is not seeing the sign on the wall, where this is going to be the beginning of an end for him. But look at these clowns. They said they reject the exercise.
We cannot support or promote lawlessness or impunity in any form whatsoever. Even though we are the ruling party in Rivers State, the proper court judgments must be obeyed, as we cannot choose or pick which order of court to obey or not to obey. We want to caution that any attempt to announce any result whatsoever will be an invitation to violence and will be properly resisted, as no election will hold in the Rivers State on the 5th of October 2024 as ordered by the courts.
The entire process of the local government election in Rivers State is in conflict with the laws of the land. If the process is done according to law, my party will participate in the election. We are miffed that even after the receipt of the judgment, Governor Siminalayi Fubara broke into the gates of Wike and chased away police officers deployed to Wike to ensure compliance of the judgment. We caution against any announcement or any attempt of it, any attempt to announce fictitious individuals as elected chairman and local government area, as doing so is a clear-cut recipe for chaos and unrest. The governor spent chance to enthrone his proteges into the councils.
Nuisance, Lele.
Because you know something, they are relying on a court's ex parte order that they went to Abuja. Okay, so the police IG now sent policemen to go and take over the state independent electoral commission's office. An action that is completely, extrajudicial, they will say. Is that the word? Like illegal. But because Nigeria is a lawless place, right? And people said, if Fubara, that usually look so quiet and gentle, had been or had treated this with levity, they would have intimidated him out of the entire process. But because he probably surprised a lot of them, he said, if the Nigerian police won't provide security for the election, fine, get the hell out of here. We will provide the security for ourselves. Guess what? The whole election was so peaceful, the way they were conducting themselves. There were no wala, no nothing, until the Nigerian policemen showed up. They started shooting. They started snatching box. Policemen, Nigerian policemen. To the point that on social media, a lot of people started feeling like, could the Nigerian policemen be the ones responsible for election violence, election rigging, and all that in Nigeria? Because when they were not involved, everything was fine. Even the thugs, the political thugs that normally disrupt elections, they don't want them where to come out until the policemen came. They guided them to begin to destroy this, destroy that. People started laughing. We are already done. We finished our election. Destroy them. Yeah. Destroy the whole thing. Idiots. Something where we don't finish, where we don't write result. They're just about to announce results. And I kind of would agree. If anything that showed, if there's anything that we we saw during that their local government selection process today was that people were like voting without wahala. I have videos, I've shared a few of them. The wahala started when policemen with their guns started smashing on the order of the IGP of police, Inspector General of Police of Nigeria. Said if there's any chaos, any problem in River State, now Fubara Kosam, for Fubara to be saying it doesn't need policemen anymore. You were the ones who said you won't provide security only for you to come in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. They mobilized policemen from Imo State to go and take over the state independent electoral commission. Take over the place. Make sure that no election materials is moved out of the place. Policemen, after saying you won't be part of it. So when the people now mobilize themselves, chase you away, they left, and people were doing their selection normal, until around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when these policemen started arriving in some places, started shooting, picking up ballot boxes. And people said, so now policemen that they take rig election in Nigeria, without them, even political thugs not operate. And I agree. Let's go back to the River State again.
The paramount, head, paramount ruler, whatever you want to call it, of the
Thank you, sir. Please, we realized you voted. What is your take on the overall?
Well, it's a good exercise. Who were orderly. A lot of persons I didn't vote before I came to cast my vote. Who are insisting that people should know about their duties and make sure they cast their vote and be very orderly, no issues, no fights, no quarrels. But then all the youths in the different communities to ensure that things are peaceful, and no matter the provocation, nobody should engage in fisticuffs. We don't even want quarrels. And you can see in this compound particularly, that they are taking place seamlessly across the entire Abonima. I wouldn't know anything about Abonima, but all the information I get in Abonima is that so all that I see in Abonima, everything was very peaceful, and then we were getting reports across the entire local government. So I'm very happy. If that, remains the case, then we're very glad. But that's what we say, these are all protestations, no matter what it is, right? It should be peaceful, If we have grievances, the doctors are there, for us to go there and then hear our grievances and allow the learners just to do our matters, and do their difference. But we really do the Lord in our hearts. And I'm glad that in Abonima, everywhere already.
Some compared this election to the previous one, it has been and it will be conducted themselves. What can you say?
Well, it's always because they've had issues that, that will need the security personnel, to monitor our elections and all that. I mean, in other times, you don't see any security presence with the whole elections. But they expect that people will go there and do their activities. You go there, you do your accreditation, you cast your vote, and then you go home, No inducements, some people wait around for inducements and fighting over inducements and all that. So we can see that this election today, there was no inducement. I don't know where anybody went, but I wouldn't see anybody with anybody back giving the money to anybody. I haven't even seen the candidates, for chairman in all of the day. And I haven't seen people around, who are trying to ensure that votes get in a particular way or in another way. I would told them, all the candidates for councillor. The candidates for chairman. Go and cast your vote for that chairman or that councillor that you think can get it up from. And I think that's what we've done here. So yes, we didn't see any security presence, but the election still went over it.
Thank you, sir.
Oui.
Make all of them just go inside there. Wanna close that gate, close that door.
Close the door, close the door, close the door.
Close that door. Close that door, no need to close that door. What did they worry these people? What did they do? Police dey here.
Hey, police dey now. What's my person there? Have the election. No shops will open now.
Those are the video. Those are the video.
Now, up with the shoot at me. Now, no matter in election, I saw election they did. You know, them pursue better enter that compound. Now, no matter in they can't use all them talk for the election.
No, then they attack police units.
Okay, they attack police units.
Alison Awela Samuel, the LG returning officer. hereby announced that the candidate of the Action People's Party, having scored the highest number of votes in the just concluded election, is hereby declared the winner of
APP is called the All People's Party, and their logo is elephants whose tusk is facing down. So they have been declared the winner of so far 22 local government out of 23 local government areas. Where Wike lost his polling unit, his ward, and his local government, Obiakpo. Fubara lost his polling unit because it's PDP. He lost his ward. He also lost his local government. Amaechi lost his polling unit, lost his ward, lost the local government as well. The APP guys cleared everything expectedly. But listen to the view of this man prior to that.
Well, what I think is having democracy banditry, is going on in Rivers. Because number one, if that allegation, is true, then we are in for a bigger issue. Because under the Police Act, the police is responsible to provide security, prevent crime. So they cannot be the one that will be leading, something that is undemocratic and actually can affect the peace and order, of the state. So I think that is very wrong. And I listened to the statement that police has withdrawn, they will not provide security. That cannot even happen under the law. That will on its own be a breach of the statutory responsibilities of the police. And be sure that somebody will challenge the police on that. So I don't think that that statement is even correct in the first place. Even if you're trying to obey an order not to provide security for election, you still have statutory mandate to provide security for peace and order of the entire state.
So what we're saying is that it's a picture of a situation getting out of hand, because tomorrow, if there are no police in the streets, anyone can take advantage of the situation. Don't you think so? Yeah,
but also maybe this can demystify the role of security agencies in an election. And by the way, the police is not the only security body that we have. We've got the civil defense and other allied security agencies, and I believe they will be on duty to provide security. The governor declared a curfew from midnight today through to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Who are the people that are going to enforce it? So I think that agencies of government have to also understand what their statutory roles are under the law, irrespective of whatever circumstance or interest they may wish to serve. You cannot do anything that breaches your statutory role. That on its own will be against the spirit of the Constitution and the enabling act that established the police. So the police will be failing in their statutory role by not making sure that people are safe tomorrow in Rivers and people are protected, and nobody will take advantage of this seeming intimidatory pronouncement that they will not be there. And if eventually they are not on the street and the people took over the security of the election, then we have finally demystified the issue of sending 35,000 police officers with trucks across states for elections.
See? And that's exactly what happened. Today, Rivers State conducted elections, and it became the most peaceful, and the police were not involved. The only time there were shootings or disruption was the time the policemen came to shoot and disrupt the election. So they have been demystified. Fubara, Omogbon, he didn't declare the 23 local government for APP. He declared 22. I don't know who they gave the last one to. Maybe they gave it to APC, the faction of Beke. It's definitely not to Okocha's faction. Or maybe they gave it to PDP. I don't know. Out of 23 local government areas in Rivers State, APP has been declared winner of 22. And according to that, Wike is done for. Until when, I want you to listen to this as well. Another person talking about the whole drama of what took place in Rivers.
That are not right. And this is another in that process. And it won't be bad to appeal to our political gladiators to have in mind the people they really want to serve. Because if you look at what has been going on, it is not about the welfare of the people. It is about the ego of those involved. So whatever happens today, whatever the outcome is, will be subject to some contention. You know, already the judiciary has been dragged into all of this. And since 1999, during this, when we had this, democratic rule, if we can really call it that, the judiciary that is supposed to be the arbiter, sometimes you get confusing signals from them. I do not know how this will pan out at the end of the day, but certainly it is not the best. Nigerians deserve.
Finally, it has turned out good, sir. Because that's what happened. Yeah, I know it is probably not over, like over. There will still be some gimmicks from the camp of Wike. The judiciary, the Nigerian police, they have shown whose side they are. And unfortunately, they are not on the side of the people. They are on the side of the men whose ego is meant to be massaged. So I have seen the clip and the video of the Fubara after the whole thing. I was like, yeah, he's gone. That's it. Let's go get ready and swear for you on Monday, I think, and see what they want to do next. So while that was going on, and everyone is still like more or less like watching to say, hey man, this Fubara, how did he pull it off? How did he and all of that? How did he manage to kind of like a short change or maneuver with a Wike? Right from the time they printed the ballot papers, they kind of inserted the names of the APP and the rest of them in there, and how did he manage to do all of that in a very short time, that it all turned out so good that even though it is written, it is like arranged, it was done so well, so perfectly well, that a lot of people are kind of convinced that yeah, it's rigged though, now selection though, but it's less chaotic, it's less rancorous, and it is pretty much like almost so perfect, kind of. Then Asari brought his own madness into it. People were asking for him. Where is Asari? Where is Asari? The guy came out, made some blah, 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 and almost make this about the Igbos. Have you seen this video of Asari threatening to shoot down military jets or military fighter jets? No, military chopper that are hovering around, all over his house. As if to say he's the one providing the security for Fubara. As if to say Asari was the one that replaced the Nigerian police. Therefore, because they didn't want him to provide security for the Rivers people today, they decided to come and show force in his house. Some said he's just a deluded old man, 60 years old man.
Our people, good morning, Good afternoon, good evening. As we are talking,
with the video, I'm not able to the video. As I said, the video, that the video,
Wike's soldiers, Wike's police, whoever, had been flying over my house and my compound in the last 30 minutes with 2 helicopter gunships. I have the capacity to contain them. Nigeria cannot surrender to Wike. Rivers people will not surrender to Wike. Ijaw people will not surrender to Wike. I have the capacity to contain them. And the government knows that I have the capacity to contain them. As I've been containing other people. Let them tell Wike to back off. I am 60 years old. I've never been afraid of death. I've always embraced death. I'd always embraced death. So I am not afraid of death. So all those who are there, when the helicopter is shot down, let nobody blame them. I didn't go and look for the helicopter to shoot them down. I will shoot down the helicopter. I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over River State into slavery. The Wike is nobody. Without this panaflex, it's nobody. Wike is nobody. Let them remove this thing from him now. I think he has billions. He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him. And let us see. Go and vote. I will go and vote. I will vote and you see me vote. Nothing will happen. We vote, result will be announced. Chairman will be sworn in and we will see. Chairman will be sworn in and we will see. I don't want to talk too much. We will not talk too much. There's a military formation in this community. We did not look for their trouble. Your father Madu is a Mungu. You cowardly Igbos. Do you think I'm like you people? You will see the capacity working. They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands. And then you see our capacity. With the soldiers, we go and catch him with our hands.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take India. It is smoke Igbo. It is take India.
What do you concern the Igbos for all of this? You are there talking about with the Wike, and then you are going to capture with the Wike by hand. What is the Igbo's business in that? Or is it that it won't really hit well if the Igbos are not added to the rant? Right. Let's leave that for now. Okay? And we can use this as a mini break. The message that, that the GO sent to all the Christians all over the world. Starting with the 2 brand new Rolls Royce that were given to Bishop Oyedepo. Listen.
Someone gave a bishop a car, and some people got very, very upset. And that how can a bishop be riding a Rolls Royce? As if once you are a bishop, you must die of hunger. Let me tell you, my beloved children, if you die poor, they will blame you. They will say, after all these days of you serving God, this is how you earn. If you can't pay your rent, they will say, where is your God? If all of a sudden you begin to ride a Rolls Royce, they will attack you. Now, so which of the two will you choose? They are going to attack you anyway, whether you die of poverty or you live in abundance. How many of you prefer to live in abundance? And I decree in the name that's above every other name, very soon your neighbors will envy you. Let me add this one. I am begging all Christians all over the world, let this argument about tithe come to an end. Please, I know some of you know much more than I do. I know that pastor of mine knows much more than I do. But let's do it this way, particularly you members. If your pastor says he doesn't want tithe, don't leave his church. If he says all he wants is offering, give him offering. But if your heart tells you that you should give God at least 10%, find a church nearby where the pastor says, we can collect tithe, we will use it for the glory of God, and then give that pastor your tithe. So you don't quarrel with your pastor and you don't quarrel with God. Your conscience will be clear. I'm making that appeal.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Here is a successful, again, a town hall, different from Bulaba.
I'll leave it at that. So, we'll leave Adeboye and just go on to something next. A young man made a video in Delta State where he used the dilapidated road structure in his neighborhood to pass a message to the supposed government of the states to do something about the state of the road. Few hours after that, after uploading that video on the internet, he received some strange guests. They were from the state governor, and they were there to arrest him for embarrassing the governor online. Until the neighbors showed up, and this happened. I'll show you.
You know, say Sheriff and the local government chairman, they're not going to do road for us. So the swimming pool, what they do for us, I want to really appreciate them for this swimming pool, what they do for us. So the swimming pool, what they do, we appreciate. We want bath. Give me soap. We want bath. Let's see. They're not going to do road. They're not going to do road. So, as they're not going to do road, so the swimming pool, what they do for us, we appreciate them. We appreciate. Sheriff, Eugene, on a try. Sheriff, on a do, on a try. It all seems to me. Sheriff, on a try. Oh, Eugene, God bless you. God bless all of you now. Okowa, anywhere you did, God bless you. Okowa, you try for building swimming pool. Oh, you try. Okowa, you're not going to do road, all right? All right. I'm not going to do road. Sheriff, God bless you. Okowa, God be with you. Eugene, God bless you. On our track. Give me towel, give me towel. Yeah. Oh. Okowa, God bless you for this swimming pool. Sheriff, Ona good. Ona, thank you.
That is very easy matter. Enter. Even the family won't enter with them.
Now the road where the video, so the road, see the road for here. The road, so the same person called arrested because of the road this morning. Now the road where the video, so now be this one. Because of this road, so because of the road that they do so wait for bath. Now the same person called arrested this morning. Now the road where the video, so see her for here. You know what they do? They send these officers on mufti. They are mufti. They do not come with uniform. They send these officers on mufti to come and arrest him this morning because of the road. They send them on mufti to come and arrest him this morning because of the road. And the road will be see a video so they can arrest us. So see her. See them here. On mufti. They can arrest her this morning. They can arrest her this morning. See her. See that governor now order arrest. Not flick my phone. No. Don't get my phone. You're not pin my phone. I get
Nigeria. Who's that young man?
Of our greedy leaders. Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their journey. Honorable, our security agent, IE.
Amen. Let's move forward. Last night, there was a video that sort of went viral on social media, of course. And it was from Kwakwanso.
Ni ban da matsala, amma ka hau karatariya. Ba mu ne ba mu da ilimi ba 'yan arewa? Ba mu ne sun kowa na raina mu? Ni yayansa ne a siyasa. Kuma duk abin da aka ɗauko sa karatariya da ilimi, ni ba sa na bane a ilimi. Ni na da PhD a civil engineer. Rike mukamai ba irin mukamai ɗaya maka. Performance ɗinmu ma aikin da muka ba iri ɗaya ba a jihar su da jihar. Mun ce a kawo wanda ke cewa mu zai mazance ku kawo menene karateriya da za a je ni masa. Saboda hakan an zo ma za a ce a kawo karateriya. Ai hankali muke ake ko kuma wannan jama'iyya ai mu muke gina ta ba kamar PDP ba ce da duk muka zo muka haɗu waɗansu suka shigo ko APC kawai shi kenan mutum ya zo ya taka hayi. Saboda haka mu muna nan muna jira kuma a shirin muke yi magana da kowa amma duk abin da za a yi shiri da gaskiya.
It is smoke Igbo. It is taking the
How many of you remember when this guy was asked at the Chatham House in London in 2022, just before your charade elections in Nigeria, that what did he think about the Obidients movement and Peter Obi and stuff like that? And he said, Peter Obi and the Obidients, they were just like Andrew Liverstort. Nobody knows them. That they are just like, they will pretend to be like, and then they will go down. But by the time Mr. Yakubu was done, the same Peter Obi was far better than him. I mean, in Mr. Yakubu's book, Abi, even though they took, they rigged him out of Benue, rigged him out of with a Wike in Rivers, Abi, he still kind of score more and more. So right now, he is no longer calling them Andrew Liverstort.
Election when they come so now, do you know Kwakwanso?
Who
Kwakwanso.
Who be Kwakwanso?
You know the election when they come so now, do you know Kwakwanso?
Who
Kwakwanso.
Who be Kwakwanso?
You know the election.
Kwansoko. And that was where that joke came from. Who is Kwansoko or Kwansoko? Who? Eventually, right? The guy is still out there telling everyone that he has PhD. Well, I kind of put that on my Egun's Diary Political yesterday, and I sort of hit some nerves. Some people, the joke flew through their head because I said, number one, when he was governor, by the available data and the resources in their hands, right? Kano State was not on fire. Anabra was on. Kano State was not on fire when Kwakwanso became their governor. Okay. Anabra was. Either they burned down the government house, burned down this, and burned down that, kidnapped the former state governor, because the Andy Uba, and what's that his brother's name? Is it Frank? No, not Frank. Andy Uba, and the other one. Remind me. Then the available data showed that, because now they were rating them by then, was going to be like the achievement in the Millennium Development Goals. So I now put it as an add-on or addendum at the Klamakwe, that he got a PhD from an Indian roadside university, and being a water engineer, he's never actually put that to practice in Kano State. Kano State, like Lagos, have no drinking water. Now, Merua, people where they push water, they sell water to people. So if the person who don't become former governor, then senator from Kano State could not use his expertise as a PhD in water engineering, of what use is that other than just for political add-on for title's sake? Some people just took. I said maybe he went on to go and get a PhD in borehole drilling. or more. And so some of these Nigerians, right? They wanted to come and argue with me. No, how can you say it's a PhD holder in bore drill? Okay, what else? What did he get the PhD on? Drilling borehole, Abi? Abi what? If he's a water engineer, how has that helped the people of Kano State? Peter Obi was a governor of Anabra. The last time he was their governor was about how many years ago? I think it was 13 years or 14 years ago. 13 years ago. I think so. The man that from his own meager resources, he was able to save enough. He was able to have a clear record that beat that of a fashola who has access to billions in Lagos. This guy was able to provide education, a standard one, that actually won them different laurels and improved whatever you call it today that they brag about in Anambra State. He saved enough money from the meager money they were making then that could have been used for the future purpose in that state, only for Obaino to come and waste the money. Now, the person who saved for them in Anambra State constructed the most road, by the way, as well as build on their education, healthcare. 13 years after that, those who succeeded him have rubbished and destroyed everything. Enough that one of them is standing trial with TFCC for stealing from Anambra State. That was their governor that you condemn and vilify for not being corrupt enough, right? Is walking about as a free man today and asking them that if you find any money traced to him or any property of the state traced to him, take them. And yet, none of your criminal politicians or criminal government in Nigeria could go after him. You can say the same of Kwakwanso or any other politicians in Nigeria. That is even a flex. Why? They said that, I said, well, I'll leave you to it. Be the judge. Okay. Yesterday, Shitty Man was in Enugu. And guess what he was doing there? It was on the invitation of Peter Mba. Okay. And he promised the businessmen in Enugu, Igbo land, they promised them 150,000 naira to support their businesses. 150,000 naira. Is it for Gary? Is it for Eba?
I'm pleased to announce that His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has mandated a grant of 150,000 naira each to be awarded to outstanding MSMEs at today's event. And let me assure you that this is an outright grant with no requirement for repayment, reflecting our commitment to nurturing MSMEs and fostering economic growth. I met a young lady at the clinic. I saw the passion, the enthusiasm, the commitment. I was moved to tears. And I asked her, what is your total capital? She said she has only 2 million naira. I asked her, how much do you need to really be operating at a higher altitude? She said she needs 3 million naira to make it 5 million naira. I was moved, one, by her humility, two, by her honesty. I personally gave her 10 million naira to really boost her business. And this hub that we commissioned today, along with other hubs established across Nigeria, is a stepping stone to the economic height we have always desired. Aside from standing as one of the largest we have commissioned, this hub is equipped with cutting-edge technology to support the fashion manufacturing cluster in Enugu State, boosting production capacity and enabling economies of scale. This hub has the potential to produce a wide array of fashion products, from military uniforms to school and corporate wear, meeting global standards and creating about 48,000 jobs in the process. We anticipate that the hub will be managed by a competent private sector entity, with federal and state governments providing vigilant oversight.
Shitty man. Again, I'm just rushing through my time now so that I can have the line opened. Listen, if you are watching this, especially on YouTube, I think we had a lot of us in tonight. We are over 2,000 of us on YouTube. We are over 200 of us on Facebook. So if we have over 200 people on Facebook, as much as we have limited our reach, we should be getting like over 200 likes there. It's easier. And if you have over 2,000 people on YouTube, we should be getting at least over 1,000 of us liking the video. So I'm just here to remind you to please like the video if you haven't already, right? Like it, show that you are here. And let's go back to that Delta state, where Bright is there to show us the people caught. They call them the cannabis smugglers within the state and all that. So something to remind you that crime doesn't pay.
I am SP Edafe Bright, and I'm at the office of the CP's Monitoring Unit, Delta State Police Command. Here we'll be parading 2 suspects that during stop and search, they were intercepted, and 205 packs of weed suspected to be Indian hemps were recovered from them. The amazing thing about this recovery is the means by which these items were hidden on this vehicle that we are seeing. And I would want to show our audience how the policemen recovered this exhibit. Okay, there's this video that trended. There's this video that trended online where a policeman was searching the engine compartment of a vehicle, and they were playing this God help me at the background. Now, I made people to understand then that a policeman searching the compartment of a vehicle is not stupid. He knows what he's doing. You, as a layman, may not know the importance of what that policeman is doing. Now, this is underneath the seat of this vehicle. Underneath. Do you understand what it takes for a policeman to say, come down from the vehicle, and they raise the seat and raise this before they find the exhibit? These 205 packs of weed suspected to be Indian were hidden under this compartment where they usually place the seat on top. Underneath, 205 of that were recovered from this place. Now, when people are passing by, they might wonder, what the police keep for there when they find? What the police keep for there when they find? See what they keep there, or not the police keep them. People that kept it, they are there, and they will tell us where they took it from and where they are taking it to. So next time when you see a policeman performing stop and search on the road, just allow them be, because whatever they are doing from experience. My friend, you know you are my friend now. Police is your friend. What is your name?
My name is Uche, sir.
Uche who?
Joseph.
Uche Joseph, you are from where?
From Abe.
You are from Abe?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were intercepted with this, you were intercepted with about 205 wraps of weed suspected to be Indian or SK as you call it. Where did you get this from?
From Benin, sir.
From Benin? Where in Benin?
By bypass.
By bypass. Who gave it to you?
A man called Alaji.
Okay, these things here, what are they? All these weed, what is the color?
It's called SK, sir.
Eh?
SK.
Okay, now SK be this.
Yes.
Okay, SK. Okay, so when the Alaji, where you tell you say from get am?
You didn't tell me where you forget it, sir.
Okay, where I tell you say you carry and go?
Owerri, sir.
Owerri, who they go give for Owerri?
A woman called Faith.
Where should they stay for Owerri?
By Futo University side, sir.
Futo University. So when you deliver them for her, normally, what is she supposed to do for you?
She will pay me money.
How much?
Per one, carry per 115, sir.
Okay, one of these, the only one is 15.
Yes, to carry it.
So you now multiply 15 by 205.
Yes.
You be done, man. No, the crime looks like say it is sweet until they catch you. So how do you feel now?
I feel bad, sir.
You feel bad?
Yes, sir.
You dey take her?
No.
You know they take her. Why you not they take her? I want to know, just we are discussing now, why you not they take her?
I don't used to eat now.
Why you not used to eat? What do you think say SK they do for body?
Me.
What do you think say SK they do for people when they take her?
So it's just for INEC, sir.
They make the eye.
Yes.
Okay, no wahala. But you know that being in possession of this in Nigeria is an offense.
Yes, sir.
So you know it's an offense. So why did you accept to carry it? How long have you been doing this business?
It's my first time.
It's always the first time. We know that story not today with the year. So what gave you the idea? Why you hide down for that place? Where there for recover this thing inside your car? Where there for recover?
Yes, sir.
Where there for recover inside your car?
Yeah.
Where you hide down inside the motor?
Under the seat, sir.
Why you hide down there?
That is what they did the motor, sir. They did because of the business, sir.
Okay, they built this motor like this because of this business.
Yes, sir. It's a new vehicle.
Who built the motor?
The owner is not around, sir.
Okay, now the owner creates that space there.
Yes.
Who be the owner of the motor? Now your guy?
No, the owner is at Ondo State, sir.
Ondo State?
Yes.
So I need to give you the motor.
He's working at Ondo State, at Jongo.
And they do this business too?
For Jongo.
Okay, now they do this business.
Yes.
Then you the help him, the transporter.
He bought the motor new, but he didn't know that I won't take this movement, sir.
Okay, no problem. So that space where they create under the seat now for the purpose of carrying all these things.
Yes.
Is it that make it dey safe or make police no quick see am?
Police no quick see am.
Talk now, make people hear you. Make police. I be want make I show your face.
No.
So talk.
Make police no quick see am.
So that police don't go quick see am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we are done with this interview, but I just want to reiterate the fact that when you see a policeman searching thoroughly, don't think that they are keeping what they did not put there or what they put there. They know what they are doing. Oftentimes we have recovered AK-47 rifles hidden like this inside vehicle. Just come close so that our viewers will see what we are talking about. Zoom this one, zoom it, let them see it clearly. This is 205 packs. I'm trying to get the grams of each one so that we will know the total quantity that we have here. All SK, according to him, said they are SK. And if you remember, this is part of what I wrote on X the other time, stating that youth should avoid this because it's just a matter of time. People take it.
As if to say, most of your officers are not Igbo smokers themselves, or something even like a stronger. I think it's legal for the police officers because if you see some of them either high on God knows what or drunk on, and they are still operating guns or carrying guns. Anyway, I just thought I should show you that. Nigeria may be hard, though. Don't let yourself be used in smuggling some of these contrabanded drugs as well. You don't have to take my advice. I just thought I should show you that. In Nigeria, you can be a criminal. You just need to belong to the right group. For example, this heroin trafficker is the president of Nigeria. So if you want to be a criminal, just make sure you belong to the right one. Fisayo Shoyombo was on Arise this afternoon, and we're talking about the corruption in the prison service in Nigeria. He had himself, for his own investigative journalism, work, he had himself sent to prison. And from his own experience, they are talking about a VIP session in Nigerian prisons. And most of the people that usually arrange this, some of them are lawyers of the convicted criminals. And then they work with prisoners, the prison warders too, or warden. So Fisayo said, from his own experience, immediately you enter prison, the prison warden will will ask you, do you have money? Between 50,000 naira and 1 million naira, you can be placed in a VIP session or VIP section of the prison. And you won't have to be in the major, and you can have access to your phone, access to this, access to that. Shoyombo.
For every investigation I've done, it's because ordinary people went through those systems and encountered problems, and they thought it had to be escalated. So I didn't just, someone went to prison and came out and said, oh, wow, that's a cesspool of corruption. You need to find a way to get in. The person went to prison in 2017. It took me 2 years. to plan. And in 2019, I went in. Now, by the way, I spent 5 nights in the police cell. All they wanted to do was collect bribes to free me. Because I didn't pay bribes.
This is from your own personal experience?
From my personal, we got someone to arrange that. I bought a car, a vehicle, I paid, out of 2.8, I paid 500, and I didn't want to pay the rest.
Okay, that's the
claim that was taken to the police,
okay.
And then they picked me up and changed the charge to stealing and hijacking of SUV. Person said I didn't complete payment and I didn't want to. So each day they were asking, oh, you don't have someone to come and settle your bill. They just wanted bribes. But I wanted to go to prison because police was not the target. So at the end, after Monday to Friday, they had to arraign me in court. First thing to note is that once the magistrate said remanded in prison custody, and the court closed, and they took me down to the holding cell, the first thing the prison warder did, there was a lady who was, working as my sister. They told me to go into their office in court, and they told her to peep into the holding cell. I had peeped myself, I saw, and they told her, is that the kind of place you want your brother to stay? Give us money, and your brother will stay in our office. Because we needed to be there until evening when the prison boss would go around all the courts to convey inmates to prison. The prison warders approached me, I didn't approach them. And then, there was a negotiation, and then she settled for 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira?
Oh, yes. It's on tape. I want him to produce the videos the prison service seized from me in 2019. Because when you say some allegations are unsubstantiated, the ones that are substantiated, that were taped, that the prison service seized from me, produce them.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Not only that, then they came and then they said, oh, in prison, if you have money, you will never suffer. You serve the prison either with your body or with your money. I can tell you Bobrisky did not spend time in prison. Spent 3 weeks and they moved him out. There's no single Nigerian who has money and does not want to complete their time in prison that will do it. It's only if they want to. From there, they told me I could get a decent place to stay in prison for 50,000, for 100,000, for 150. Even said 1 million. This was in 2019.
1 million. So how much are they supposed to be charging you per day for this supposed?
Different special rooms, depending on how much money you have. When the guy said 1 million, I said 1 million. He said yes. When Fayoshe was in Ikoyi prison, do you think he stayed in the general cell?
Wow.
That's the answer they gave me. These things are on tape. I'm not making allegations. These were things that happened to me that I filmed with the secret service. Tell the Nigerian prison service to produce it. Everything is on tape. The warders then told me that the warders in the prison had told the ones in court not to be striking deals with inmates, to wait for the inmates to get to prison so that the ones in prison would strike the deals by themselves.
Oh, because we were training the warders.
Yes,
by striking
the warders in court. Yes, even in court, somebody approached me. The warders, call, say, who is working on your bill? They called someone. The person, the lawyer, came and said, I work with the magistrate. If you pay 200,000 naira, you will sleep in your house tonight, even though the magistrate had pronounced remanded in prison.
Wow.
Yes, the only reason it didn't work out is I wanted to go to prison, not to get out.
So even when you were in prison, what was the condition like?
You get to prison,
health-wise,
before
food-wise?
You talk about sanitation, corruption it's an impossibly corrupt system. You get documented as a new inmate. They take your details and you submit any cash on you. The idea is that inmates should not be in possession of cash. You give your cash to the records office. Then you go back to the records office to say, oh, I want to make a call. I want to buy coke. I want to buy food. They release to you in bits so that you can't commit any crime. You can't do it. They then have, the warders then have convicts. Remember, they're awaiting trial inmates, they're convicted inmates. The convicted inmates know that they have nowhere to go. Someone who has a 7-year jail sentence, a 10-year jail sentence is loyal to the prison warders. Because that's your home for the next 7, 10, regardless of your sentence. Those ones then come to you, being documented, say, out of your money, you will remove 1,000 naira to the woman at the records office, doing the documentation. And we're many. When they allocate, so after they take your pictures online, then in print, they do double documentation online and in print, and then they allocate you to a cell. The prison warder in charge of the cell, you have to pay that one. As of then, 29, it was 1,000 naira.
Per what? Per
just for being in the cell For nothing.
How many of you are usually in the cell?
So many. It depends on how many inmates they bring in. I spent 8 days in Ikoyi prison. The lowest number of awaiting trial inmates brought in was 16. Sometimes 40-something, sometimes,
40-something in that one cell?
No. Just, there's some... On the first night, you sleep in a place called welcome cell. You don't sleep like this. You don't sleep like this. You sleep like this. If you're like crayfish, when you open sardine, have you ever opened sardine? The way they pack, I'm not exaggerating. It's exactly. If Bobby spent one night in welcome cell, you think he will come out and speak to anybody? You won't come out. That first night, you keep asking yourself, who sent me?
Wow.
Because if I sleep and my head is facing the direction this way, the next person to me, the head then is in this direction.
So
you cannot turn.
Is at the back of your
yes,
head.
you cannot turn. You sleep like this all night. If there's no how you cannot turn. That's how you sleep. Its punishment is, and the thing is that once you have money, you bypass all these things. So
really,
the prison authorities have to decide what they want to do. Is the prison supposed to be a punitive or? I've never referred to them as Nigerian.
And Barrister Enebe, who also was sent to Calabar prison by a judge who just felt like she had the power or he had the power or something like that to send him to, is a lawyer who went to court to represent a client. And the judge took offense for the way he was kind of like talking. And then the next thing, they sent him to prison for 1 month. Lawyer for Nigeria, Enebe. We're talking about the VIP treatment in prison. Here is his own defense or explanation. Because in Europe, the reason why you don't have VIP cell in Europe prison or abroad prison is because they treat us fine. In Nigeria, you need VIP.
As of today, there is clearly nothing correctional about the Nigerian Correctional Service. The system is completely flawed. And I have had cause to say that the correctional service in Nigeria requires fundamental reforms. Nearly everything Fisayo has said is the truth. I can confirm to you that, yes, there are what they call special cells. When I was in Ikoyi prison, they put me in the so-called special cell, right? And 50,000 was collected for that. I mean, I'm confirming to you, so I'm not telling you. These are things I have said publicly. I'm not telling you what I was told. I'm telling you my own experience. 50,000 for 2 weeks. And they insisted that, you cannot stay in the general cell. You are VIP. You are this, you are that. So, and guess what? The so-called VIP cell, there's nothing VIP about it. The condition there is not even nothing. But at least in comparison to the other places, maybe some relative, better than the cell that I would have ordinarily stayed. But that VIP cell is inside the premises of the prison. It's not outside. So the truth is that in the prison, you have to buy space as an inmate. I paid for lights. They don't even, in fact, for about almost the entire period, I was in Uyo Correctional, Custodial Center. Because I spent 2 weeks in Ikoyi, 2 weeks in Uyo. We did not have electricity supply. Inmates were the ones who paid for their own kerosene. And they used lantern. I paid 1,000 for kerosene. And guess what? It is the warders that are selling the kerosene. Everything in the prison is paid for. The food that inmates are served, you will not serve your dog. The gari is not only bad, it is despicable. If you see the food, so I didn't eat the so-called food there. I did not drink their water for the 1 month. I was on self-feeding. The system allows you to apply for self-feeding. If I had eaten what they served, I'm not sure I would have come out alive. Self-feeding, if you write a letter to the prison to say, I want to take responsibility for my own feeding. Okay. So you now nominate either your relative, your spouse, or whoever to be the one to be bringing food for you.
You pay for that privilege?
No, for the self-feeding, you don't have to pay. You just simply need to apply and then nominate someone to bring food for you. Because the food they are selling, giving to inmates, is ridiculous. So inmates now have to devise internal way of, concocting whatever they are served to make it, possible to swallow, not to eat. Inmates don't eat, they swallow. I'm trying to make that distinction. Because if you say they are eating, it's not food that they are served. And this is something I have said repeatedly. In fact, the correctional service in Nigeria is so bad. The day I arrived in Ikotegbene on the 27th of July, an inmate had died the previous day. The day I was leaving, an inmate had died. The day I arrived with you, an inmate had died. Like it was as if the death in the correctional service is so rampant. The healthcare is nothing to write home about. This is not limited to the correctional service that I was, the custodial centers. It's a national thing. What Fithayo is telling you is not a lie. When you see how inmates are sleeping, the point he did not make is that you have to pay for the space. And this space you are paying for is to allow you to sleep properly. So there are inmates that, I'm telling you, there are inmates that have to stand. That I'm telling you that they may not even have the space, like to even squeeze themselves. Oh my goodness. It is so congested. It is so diabolical. The hygiene is zero. The water is nothing to write home about. The feeding. So I used to tell these NGOs that go to prison to donate food, you are wasting your time. If you want to go to these custodial centers to donate food items, donate on used clothes or whatever, be sure that you are there when those things are distributed to inmates.
Okay, because they never get to the purpose.
The correctional officers, many of them are also prisoners. The only distinction is the uniform. They are grossly underpaid. I don't know if you are aware. They are grossly underpaid. Their welfare is nothing to write home about. So they struggle with the food. In fact, when I was for the 1 month I was there, I had food in excess. I mean, people were bringing all sorts of things for me. It is not only prisoners who were struggling for the food, even the correctional officers. Yes. So the system has completely collapsed. And guess what? Part of the reason that awaiting trial inmates stay for so long to go to court is that before you are even sometimes taken to court, you have to facilitate it. If your relative don't come to give money, right, to in-charge court, they call it in-charge court, the officer in charge of taking people to court, you may not have a court appearance. Because there are people, let me also shock you. Do you know that there are inmates in Nigerian prisons today that nobody outside knows that they are there? I met a gentleman from Adamawa who was in Uyo prison. Nobody knew. Nobody outside the four walls of the prison knew that he was there. And it's not isolated. There are people in prison that cannot be accounted for. There are people in prison that their court records cannot be traced. There are people in prison that have not been awaiting trial, that have not been taken to court for up to 5 years. Oh my God. It is that terrible. The system has completely collapsed. So one of the things I did while I was living is that, by the grace of God, I was able to facilitate the release of about 17 inmates when I was living. Because some of them were released on bail, they cannot perfect their bail. So all I simply had to do was that to make money available and get them out on release. And those that needed fine and all that. So what I'm telling you is that let the minister stop this hypocritical investigation. What the National Assembly is doing, as far as I'm concerned, is a product of parliamentary redundancy. Having not been able to do the real work that Nigerians have voted them to do, they are now distracting themselves with the Bobrisky matter. The member who moved that motion, Patrick Umo, was my senior in the university. He's a lawyer. I know he's a thorough person. But what they should investigate is not even just about Bobrisky. Bobrisky is, for me, the whole investigation to a large extent is a distraction. The real issue is the rot in the system, is the way inmates are treated as animals. In fact, the day I arrived with you, 2 weeks after I got a grade, they took me to you. This assistant controller of corrections told me, I had to challenge. I said, Madam, do you treat people as animals here? I said, yes, we treat you as animals. You don't have any rights here.
She actually verbally told you that?
She said it to me. Of course, at that time, maybe she had not known who she was speaking to. But she said it, this woman said it to me, here we treat you as animals. Inmates don't have any rights in the prisons. They have no rights. And it pains me because you will literally die. In fact, there was a gentleman who, in Ikotegbene, had an accident. His legs was seriously fractured. The medical facility there could not cater for him. I was the one who undertook responsibility for his treatment. And I did the same thing for several inmates. So I'm just telling you, it's not to sing my praise, I'm telling you how bad the situation is. There are inmates that, they have a call center in the prisons. There are inmates who cannot even afford to call their relative. So the system has completely collapsed. Anybody that tells you that we have this correctional service that is correcting inmates is wasting his time. That is why when people go there, in many occasions they come back, they are more emboldened. They go back to crime. There is nothing reformative about that system. The entire system is based on a mindset of slavery. It is based
Ẹ̀bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run, ebi ń pa wá.
So he said all of them, both of them spoke so well. The only one I disagree with is to say investigating the allegation against Bobrisky as it is, as it has come to light, is a distraction. I disagree with you. And I always. The expose, okay, fine. The House of Representatives is none of their, supposedly it's not their business. It's called, parliamentary redundancy. They should spend much time investigating all these things, the rots, especially of the tens of thousands of people who have either been illegally locked up, even the ones legally locked up and all that, right? The allegation made by Bobrisky was that he never stepped into that prison or slept there. He was given a flat outside. That is a crime, not the VIP treatment you are talking about, okay? And of course, for those who saw him when he came out, you can tell he never spent any day there. Officer Yo said, no, he was there for 3 weeks. Then after that, they moved him out. Maybe that was when he now moved to that flat outside the prison. So that's now like a crime. It is fine. The VIP treatment and the bribery is a crime, right? But it seems like it's available to everybody, including yourself. But him not being in prison after 3 weeks, because Fisayo actually did his own investigation. The first guy, he said he investigated, and indeed, Bobrisky was in prison in Kirikiri for just 3 weeks. After that, he was never there again. So who moved him in their private cars to this new flat and all of that? How much did he pay them and all that? That is a crime. So don't ever say that's a distraction. It's not a distraction. Because little by little, now drop by drop, the whole place, this flood of corruption that everybody is swimming in, drop by drop, right? That's how it came to be. So it's not a distraction, just so you know. But this one is a distraction, where we now found the APC, Egbekebe, Southwest, singing Yoruba anthem. Kilo mean. They were in a hotel today, right? The people that have destroyed Yoruba land, destroyed Yoruba people, impoverished us, all for power. They are singing Yoruba anthem. What are they up to?
Most distinguished Senator, thank you very much. Senate Leader of the 10th Assembly, thank you very much. God bless you. I'd like to quickly, a doctor, a 3-in-1 doctor, a dear father in Lagos State, Dr. Prince Tajuddin Olusi. Can I have a round of applause for him, please? I want to welcome all of you, our governors serving and former, all of you, our deputy governors serving and former, political office holders, leaders of our party in the Southwest, members of the most forward-looking, most attractive of the party that will take Nigeria to the promised land, the APC. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you. Please, let's give ourselves a round of applause for being here this afternoon. We will not be wasting too much time, as I've been told. I would like to immediately invite to the podium to give his welcome our zonal chairman, the irrepressible
are now Omo Odua. And yet see what they have done to the Yoruba people, to the Yoruba land. Go to Ogun State. Go to Lagos State, which is a mega city. Go to Ondo. Go to Ekiti. Go to Ogun. Go to all the lands of the Odudua, supposedly Yoruba land, and see what these rogues have done to our people. Impoverished them. Now they are Omo Odua, singing Odudua anthem, Abi Yoruba anthem, at APC, Egbekegbe's program, where all they will do is to further plot on how to further impoverish our people. We got the message. That is a distraction. It is. Can you imagine singing that with those crook? I know. Anyway, I have overshoot my own time, like so far off, okay? I hope you enjoyed it so far. Did you enjoy your night with me? Or was it boring? I don't think so. Was it? Now let's take calls. Because I know some of you probably want to add one or two things. Tomorrow is Sunday, so there's no rush. Are you working tomorrow? No. So yeah, but if you really have to go, right? Like the broadcast. Subscribe to my channel, right? And then, yeah, share this as well. If you're still going to be with us this evening, there's so much we have shared this night. And you might have one or two things to add to it too. So I'm going to go on a short break. When I come back, the line will be opened. And you can call in and be part of the chat this evening. I'll be right back. tongue. So it is now official that Fubara and his guys, they have demolished with a Wike's structure, and it was done in such a what do you call it? In such a surgical way that it will be pretty much like difficult, if not impossible, for with a Wike to shakara Fubara anymore. I don't know how the supposed Rivers people will be rewarded after this, including the Egbe Tokun, who is the acting APC chairman, as well as police IG in Nigeria. So if somebody says there will be consequences, that's what majority of us would like to see. There are some of us that probably will say it is not over until it is over, whatever that means, right? As some will say that with a Wike, it's not just going to disappear like that. He will continue to do everything to sabotage the government of Rivers State. He will continue to do as much as he can to sabotage the welfare of the people of Rivers State, because he's somebody with so much massive ego that I won't just walk away or go away just like that. So let me see if I can take this. My first caller this evening is a dear sister, Bimbola. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
It's you.
How are you?
I'm very well. Long time.
It's been a while.
I know.
Yeah.
I've just not been lucky to get you.
And I tried, but you know.
I know.
They're busy. Yeah, when it's busy.
Well, lucky for me tonight, you are the first caller. So.
So,
yeah, let's have it. Let's have it.
Wike and Fubara thing. What do you expect? You know, me, I know that Wike. One thing I know about Tinubu is he's never going to let anybody be as powerful as him himself. He will not. So, because if he wanted Wike to control Port Harcourt, he can do it. So, but you're not going to be. This is a mafia boss we are talking about. You're not going to be.
That angle, ma'am. I haven't. No, people have said that to me before. That Wike is just going to be like a puppet, and the puppet master and the puppet. That Tinubu will never let him kind of have that leverage that much. I never kind of seen it from that angle. Go on.
No, it's not gonna. Yeah. So he will put him where he wants him to be. That he can be used and be dumped whenever they want to. So that's it. Right. It's not gonna be that powerful.
So he won't give.
So I won't be surprised if. I won't be surprised if he's actually supporting Fubara underground, and you know what I mean. So
I do. I am actually now seeing it clearly now. Like, I mean, it's making sense too.
Yeah. I won't be surprised if they're supporting Fubara, codedly, So anyway, the issue about Nigerian corruption.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very, very deep. It is so I don't even know how we're going to begin to fix the problem. When this very dark man and this Bobrisky thing came up, and people were talking about a godfather here and there, like, this guy don't have a godfather.
Right.
For him to even go to jail for that kind of offense, that kind of ridiculous thing, they had no godfather anywhere. Nigerians throw words around without even knowing what the meaning of the word is. When you say godfather, you're forgetting that there is a God in that word. That means somebody that is very powerful, very influential, somebody that can make things happen and make things disappear, you know? So he had to raise money to bribe EFCC for money laundering. Let's pause for a minute and think about it. If this guy was actually laundering money, who will he be laundering money for? Is it not for the politicians or the criminals? So when this EFCC now want to charge him for that, what do you think will come up with the money to get out of that charge? Is it not the people that he was laundering? Because they know that if the sheets hit the fan, everybody gets splashed with it, right? So they won't want them to be exposed as well. So they will be the one to pay for that. And if there's a godfather somewhere, you don't even need to pay. It's a phone call, you know? Like, the EFCC will just drop the charge. So I'm sure even for the prison thing, he raised money, just like he raised money to drop that charge of EFCC.
There's no real godfather anywhere.
Yeah.
There
is no godfather. He raised money to live in a posh apartment. Those apartments are Airbnb apartments, and it's those prison officials that they have those buildings around there. So they just rent them to whoever can pay, just like those people were analyzing it. So there's no godfather anywhere for Bobrisky. You know, he may be living a make-believe lifestyle.
The EFCC said that there was never a time that they placed any ban on his bank accounts. That if he called his friends, right? If he called his friends for money, that probably he actually even lied to his friends just to get money by saying EFCC to get money. That there is no record that they put a ban or place a ban on his. I mean, we haven't verified that. That's the defense of the EFCC. That they are not saying they get money from his friends, right?
They actually charge him.
Go on, ma'am.
Yeah, they probably charge him for that offense, right?
Right.
The only reason they put it in is so as to extort money from him. You know, because if they want him to bribe them for this spraying of money, they're not going to get 15 million for that. They have to make the charge very heavy so they can, get a lot of money from him, the 15 million. So they put that charge there because, you cannot explain, because, Bobrisky will not be able to explain where he's getting money that he's spending and all that. I'm pretty sure maybe the men he's sleeping with are giving him money and all. So we know that. So he gets money. And it's international. So it's not only in Nigeria. He goes and do prostitution, get money, and so he cannot explain it. So they now have to put that charge of money laundering. But Bobrisky does not have that kind of deal to launder money for anybody. Because if he did, those people would have been the one. They would have been the one to get him a lawyer or bribe EFCC so this thing can go away. So So, but EFCC, they don't have the evidence to prosecute him for that thing. They only put that charge there so they can extort money from him. So that's the thing. And what they even put that guy in jail for, we all know it's just to pacify the public.
Offense. I mean, it was meant to just go and do
it's
some
just to
community
pacify
service or
the
pay
public, just because of the outcry, and let's just shut them up. That was all they did. Even the guy himself said that he was thinking that at worst they will give him community service. Because that was what his lawyer told him. Like, this offense, they will give you community service or probation or something like that.
Just say you are guilty, and then
but because of the outcry now, they have to say, okay, go to jail for that, to make everybody shut up. So there's no Godfather anywhere. And in that this thing, very dark man, I like the that he's exposing things. But one thing that I don't like in this whole scenario is he trying to get that 4 million back for that guy? Because we are talking about money laundering here. This is a crime against the nation. And somebody came to you, and somebody came to you and said he borrowed somebody money so that they can drop money laundering charge that is against him, and he wants the money back. You have contributed to the corruption by giving that loan to that guy. You are participating in this crime. So for you now to come to me and say you want them to pay you your money, that's a loan. A loan to cover up a crime. You are equally, culpable there. So that's one part of it that I'm like, okay, why would very dark man be, agitating for this guy to get his money back when he knew what they used the money for? If Bobrisky was laundering money out,
and that's why you would expect those who should actually scrutinize everything enough. See what you have just done now. You have opened a different perspective on the entire conversation. Like, it's easier for people to kind of ask more questions and say, okay, right, that makes sense. I want to know more, rather than try to hush everyone to want to shut it or threaten this one to keep quiet and all that, which the whole thing has turned out to be.
Yeah, but the very dark man drove it to that stage that it is. You understand? In that audio, we all heard it. If he had just left that audio, you see that commentary he made after the audio was the thing that drove that thing to the Falanos and left the real crime of bribery and then not spending time in jail, now focus to, the Falanos and so he made it that way, right? And when these people came out and said, okay, you need to retract what you said, it's defamatory to us. He should have done that the very next day. I was expecting to come out and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I got carried away just by hearing your name and the way I respect you guys. By hearing your name come out in the Bobrisky's conversation, I just lost it. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And let it go. It would have, no, he didn't. He came back out. He doubled down. He tripled down. He was even insulting his sister.
That's their disagreement. They said that wasn't an apology they wanted.
When he came, before they sued him, they gave him 24 hours.
Right.
They said, retract it in 24 hours. When he didn't, that's when they sued him.
He actually did. He said, I didn't. Hang on. He said, I did not intend to defame you. And I can't even do that. He did 2 videos, which I played on this platform. One for Pulse and one for the, Uncle, as he was calling Femi Falana, Uncle Femi. But what they said was that that wasn't an apology they expected. They wanted him to put it in writing, right? And then
you could have just asked your lawyer to put it in writing. Just ask your lawyer to put. When we goofed, we've goofed. Okay, you can be doing the right thing and you make a mistake. Everybody can do that. So when you understand that, just take it out. I expected that we should focusing on that particular crime itself. That is what is important. Look at the way he comported himself to when he went to the house. That I didn't expect. He turned it into a circus. I'm like, okay, are we doing comedy now? This is just comedic to me, And the way it even spoke to that woman, Congresswoman, no, please, it's a no. I didn't like that about the whole thing. You are doing a good thing. Yoruba man say, "Ingba mi, only maruju ayadrebai, wade jebi." It's the way you are presenting it and your action. Only maruju ayadrebai, and you wade jebi. So in this case, it's the way to fin change. òun ló jẹ́ kẹjọ́ yẹn kó dàrú ló wá di pé ọ̀rọ̀ Fálànà làwa ń sọ àsọ̀rọ̀ kinní mọ́, it's just testament, Yeah. So in my opinion, I think that was that I think happened. The corruption, ESCC, not free charge ESC, just to get money from Bobrisky. That's it. And Bobrisky paid for the Airbnb apartment that he stayed in.
It's almost pretty much like a non-issue that Bobrisky did anything anymore. It's like you said, it's been escalated to something else, as we have seen it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Thank
you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
let
you
me take another one because I have a lot of time now. People want to react to your man. I actually love your perspective. The way you presented it this evening, right, is quite conversational. Okay. Sometimes, like they say, we can agree to disagree, or what we hear ourselves is actually to listen to ourselves. Be conversational like it. Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one. Okay. Let me take another one, ma'am. So I have another caller. And mind you, my caller, please hang in there. I remember saying that we were over 2,000 on YouTube earlier, right? And we were supposed to kind of push that like over 1,000, but we are still dragging. I think we're just like over 800, right? If you haven't really liked the broadcast, please do. Okay, here is my caller. Hello. Did I get you? Oh no, I think I lost you earlier. You there?
Hey, Baba.
That should be Yima. Is that you, Baba?
I'm you. Good evening, Baba.
Good evening to you, bro. That's Yima. Good dude. How are you?
I do, my brother. How's everything?
Same mode. Here I am.
Welcome back on your sickness. I never called you to welcome you back, so welcome back.
Thank you so much. We haven't really spoken since then, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a long night or a long evening, though. So,
it's been going on and on. Though. So I see Fubara and Sim. Fubara is now removing carpet under the Wike's feet.
The process of his retirement has begun, so it's just going to be a matter of time. We will never hear about him again.
Let them punch themselves out. Whoever is strongest, let him win. After all, who does it benefit? It benefits those people that are there. And when the next year comes again, Fubara will try to put somebody there again, and the circle will continue. They will never learn from anything. Well, when I don't see, I say the police will they fight for, say make the police come to better and get minimum wage. You see what they do. You see their contributions to the elections. Even though we know that the elections are not anything to write home about, everything was set up and all of that. But well, you see what the police did, right? It's live on video. Saw them doing that. That's the country that well, sometimes it's a joke.
Like it's already becoming obvious that the only people responsible for rigging elections, disrupting elections have been the police. It's becoming obvious now.
Just a joke. Well, why would the police an IG? Well, IG, you go make statement to. Oh boy, you go explain tire. Because everybody's looking at it now. Everybody's just seeing una action. Well, make I leave that one aside, Baba. You see, I don't know why Nigerians your house will be on fire. You will be chasing rats instead of trying to quench the fire that your house is on fire. How do you, my God? The prison system in your country is rotten. Can you listen to the two guys that went in there? Can you listen? Go back again and play those tapes to your ears. Can you listen to what they said? This didn't happen to somebody they know. It happened to them in the custody of the prison system. It's a system. Bobrisky would never spend any time in that place as long as he has money. He will buy his comfort, feed himself. At the end of the day, come out. You know it. I know it. They know it. Everyone knows it.
Imagine somebody celebrating that the former governors have been arrested for looting billions and they have been sent to prison, only for you to hear later that they have never been in that prison. Shut up.
Which prison? How many times have people gotten pregnated their wives from prison? You telling me you didn't hear that news? So why are you pretending? The system is corrupt. So going after VDM or going after anything because he said something or he had an opinion or he made a remark or as Abati will put it, innuendos. He made innuendos. How is that relevant to the system that is rotten? People are dying in there. He said he was leaving people. The day he was coming, somebody died. The day he was leaving, who is dying? What are the innocent people doing in that place? People that have no business being in there. The state incarcerates you and now expects you to pay for your own incarceration. Come on.
And if you can't,
and you are there chasing VDM and asking Bobby Risky to go scot-free. That guy didn't spend more than a month in prison. You know it, I know it. So let's stop pretending. The whole place is on fire. The institutions are failing right in front of your eyes. You are the ones who are going to suffer from all of this nonsense because you will end up being caught up in that system.
Or somebody you love, or anyone that's
in that system.
You, even if it's not you directly. That is not a system.
Imagine, okay, imagine NABLA, I said he had to sign something to look for them to survive, bring food, to him from outside.
Self-feed.
So imagine if you are not, nobody knows you are there. What do you think you can eat? Do you think you can eat prison food in Nigeria? I will not wish my own enemy to end up in the Nigerian prison system because I know what happens in there.
Well, you know, the saddest thing is that every minister in Nigeria will tell you they are doing prison reform. Every government will tell you they are doing prison reform. What are they actually really doing? What kind of reform are they doing in that place?
Baba, if you know what prison officers go through, if I'm not absolving them of blame, but if you know what they go through, the whole system is a collapse. I mean, it's dead. If you end up in that system, it's like going to when you go to hell, to hell, you now go to jail in hell.
Yuma, I have seen people that were arrested for serious crimes, like armed robbery or something more serious as well, right? And then when they are interviewed, how did they join the gang? They said they met the gang in prison. They were sent there for a minor offense. By the time they came out, they became hardened criminals. Prison was supposed to rehabilitate you, not destroy
rehabilitate
you.
with you. Nigerian prison. Have you been into a Nigerian police cell before?
I have. And see, I can share my own experience quickly, right? I've shared the one that I experienced in Akwa Ibom. There is another one that I experienced in Yaba, Lagos, right? Where they have a name for it. I think area G or something like that. They have a name for it. Baba, they will say the prison is too crowded. Okay? And they will just come out in the middle of the night. I only spent one night there. So they will come in the middle of the night and they will just call out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next night, at the back of the cell, you will just be hearing, bah, bah, yeah. They are shooting people dead. Just to empty the prison cell. In police station, not prison. No.
Well, if I tell you what, I know they sometimes want to talk some kind of thing. If I tell you what experience that people go through in the hands of these supposedly correctional institutions, God save you if you find yourself in that place. God will now only God now will save you because nothing. But that place is a cesspit of this thing. Well, when it comes to this trafficking thing that we are seeing everywhere, Baba, that thing is all over the place. That thing is all over the place. I saw a video of 3 family members from Benue State who ended young girls. Listen, I'm telling you, they are 16 to 20 or something like that. They are below 20. If their oldest is there, is 21, 22. They were found in Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, doing prostitution in there. They were tricked, just like you said, how you described it this afternoon. That is exactly what happened to them, and they ended up in Côte d'Ivoire. 3 members of a family, 2 sisters, 1 cousin.
Jesus.
How much were they sleeping with men for in that place? 4,500 naira.
And they will be there sleeping with over 50, 100 men every day. Every day.
Violating them anyhow. So imagine they were discovered there. One man from Benue State, who's a chief man, went there to see them in the camp where they were discovered. He now spoke to them, made a video, and that's how we saw it online, that these girls from, if I'm telling you where this girl, if I tell you where this girl come from, interior.
And now, the most vulnerable of them, they will just go there and promise them they are taking them abroad. And the system is not there to help them. How did they get to pass the border, through the border, and nobody sees them?
You talk about, but let's not go into border control, my good night, I beg.
Thank you so much. I'll take another one. Yeah, it's another caller on the line. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah, well done, Baba.
Thank you.
You're doing well.
Bless you. Thank you so much. Go on.
Yeah. You see this thing, it don't do for Nigeria long time.
I know.
You see, for Ibadan, there's one police station that they call them SARS. That time they give them power, say they can kill at any time. SARS for Ibadan. So the one police station they there for Dubai. They come arrest some guys where I bought something from one of them. And I don't know, say that thing are stolen goods. So they can't find me, come our house. They don't meet me. So my papa come say, okay, when I come back, I go come. I can't go meet them. You see, for that station, because I don't want to sleep for inside that cell. So the president for that cell, for that station, he get his own room separate. Then use block, modem, like bed. Now there I sleep 3,000 naira. In 1995, 96, now that thing happened. I did sleep for that the president cell. He get his own room separate.
Years ago, and it is still happening.
So I pay my sister. They pay 3,000 naira. So I spent like 2 or 3 days there. So that 3,000 naira they pay for me to sleep inside that room. See, this thing don't they? You know, Nigerian. It's just like when you uploaded one film on Facebook about Ibadan when Obasanjo came to Ibadan. I watched that interview live when Obasanjo came to Ibadan to meet Babade Dibu. Obasanjo didn't come to Ibadan because of a governor. He came to meet Babade Dibu.
I remember.
So when you now show that in that film, you see, then show that man with the key, that thug. He's the one that is addressing. Yeah, he's the one addressing the something for that House of Assembly for Ibadan.
He was the speaker that impeached the governor.
He was the speaker, yes, that announced that.
When they took over the House of Assembly, he sat on the seat of the speaker, and then he said, those who are in support of us impeaching the governor Ladoja as governor of Oyo State, say hi. The eyes have it.
Exactly.
Yes. And from that moment, Arewa Akala, the deputy governor, just drove straight from Agodi straight to Molete to go and prostrate for Adedibu. I said, Papa Motideo, Papa Mimotideo. And before he went there, they swear for us, they say it's the governor.
Yes. Maegu, do you know that Arewa Akala was dismissed as a police officer?
I remember now, but he
used to rent ammunition to boys.
Hi.
This Arewa Akala, they carry bag, they follow this man. There's one drug cartel in Ibadan that time. He used to carry bag, follow and they enter Wasua in the party. He go there behind that man, they carry bag. So that man said no support. He take become a deputy governor. Yes, a dismissed officer. So Nigerian don't cast long time. I said, Baba, they tell you, say, now when I waka come up Nigeria and Singapore, I don't go. Say, I don't want to stay for this country.
Like anywhere but this country. I don't want to stay here again. Anywhere, I won't come out.
I won't come out. So the country don't cast. We need to, okay, see them. They come to sing Yoruba Nation Anthem.
People will destroy Yoruba land. Now they are singing Oduduwa Anthem. To make them look like what? That they are Oduduwans now.
Exactly. So they were using that Yoruba Nation something. Now that they use to catapult all these northerners, all the other. You see, the country, no, it go come down. It's just a matter of time. We'll keep on watching. My good, they try you. Now you rescue me and my family from that country. Because now you make me make up my mind. Say, this country, no, this no the country. Honestly. Well done, Baba. They watch you for three devices. Now they use the watch you. Because I don't want business anything.
I appreciate Baba. It go be. That's why we are calling on all the true Yorubas to first understand what is going on. Then small, we will begin to know where we are supposed to come in. If you don't understand the problem, you won't understand how to tackle it.
Exactly.
We will get there, Baba.
Exactly.
We will get there. God bless you, Baba.
Amen.
You have a good one.
Well done, Baba.
Yes, sir. Here is another caller. This time around, it is the Prince Jejeman, representing. Are you there? Oh, that's a shame. So I don't think. Can you hear me? All right. Sometimes the network can be really, really bad that it won't get you so connected, unfortunately. I'm going to go for another caller. And I think it is Amaechi. Is that you?
Yeah. Good evening, bro.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Fine, sir. I wanted to. I just wanted to watch today, but because of the woman that called in, the lady that called in and said Bobrisky has no godfather. I want to tell the woman that Nigerian godfather are flexible. Whenever you have problem, your godfather will run away because your godfather has another godfather.
Yeah.
And that godfather had another godfather.
Tell me something.
I want her to see. I want her to know this from Wike very soon because they are going to drop Wike because Wike has no power again in Rivers State. That's why he's fighting all these things to retain that power, to still retain Rivers from his own godfather. So today now, Wike has lost his own godfather from his own godfather. So in the next coming days, Wike will find it difficult in Abuja. He will not talk PAM. He will see it. They will change him. If his care is not taken, they will have the highest thing they will do for Wike is to leave him for this first tenure. Maybe 2027, they will leave him. They will just relieve him of that work. So in Nigeria, there's godfather, and whenever you have case, your godfather will run away. So Bobrisky has godfather.
You get godfather. Just no say even your godfather get godfather. That one God says get godfather, and they are flexible. I don't learn new things.
Exactly. Somebody are using to brag in Nigeria. When you have case, he will not stand there. He will run away because he's also have somebody that's behind him. That's how it is.
Thank you so
much. So Nigerian godfather. Then another one is 3 days ago he made program about Hope Uzodinma. Hope Uzodinma. I pity him. That's why they never wanted Nnamdi Kanu to come out because Nnamdi Kanu told them every time they will promise them vice president. Who knows what they promised Hope Uzodinma for him to agree to bring IDP all the way from north to Imo State. Who knows? Because this is this.
States.
Yes, because this is his last opportunity, his last term, and he has accumulated a lot of enemies in Imo State. And the worst thing you would do to yourself is to have problem and make your enemy know where you're putting your head. So his enemies are now in his house, which is his people. So he's trying all the best, all what he could do to still be in that government. That's what I want to say this time. Good night, my
emoji. You've done well. I'll take another one. And I think this is a thought. Olatokunbo. Is that you, sir?
Yeah, it's me.
Fantastic. See, now, we never change your DP, your profile picture on your WhatsApp. God will help me bless you specially. It makes me look like I'm an intelligent like I'm so intelligent.
I'm not ever change them.
Olatokunbo, you are live.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see this Bobrisky's issue. I want to tell you my own experience. And this happened in 1999. Wow. I hope they don't know my voice or they won't know this story. I went to
even if they did, they won't be able to talk, Baba. We know better. But go on.
I went to drop my sister in school in Ogun State. And I went to see my mates when I graduated in uni to see them and have a chat with them. When I came back, there was a riot in school. They took my car. They arrested me. They said I was a student. The policemen used the back of the gun to bust my head. I was bleeding. They put me inside the back of the car, took me to the police station before they moved me to Leweron. We were like almost 15 or 20 of us then. Moved us that we kidnapped the VC of the school then in Ogun State. Getting there, they said the person that said that kidnapped the VC was a guy who had polio. How does somebody who has polio carry VC inside the bush? So getting there,
Polio is like somebody who either is
he has no legs. He has no legs. So getting there, getting to Eleven. I told him, look, I'm not a student. I'm already working. I just came to drop my sister in school. Next thing I knew was they wanted to push me into one cell. I saw the cell. When I went out the cell, I'm thinking, are these human beings or what? I said, I can't stay here. I'm a working person already. Next thing I knew was, Oga, bring money. We'll put you in VIP cell. Then my father came. My father said, you cannot put my son in this place. This guy works for me. His ID card and everything is here. So eventually they moved me out. They put me in an open cell. It's like an open area where I was sitting down with other people. The next thing I knew was, I was there for about a week. But my ego was a nightmare. I would not wish that on any of my enemies. I don't care how bad the enemy is. I will not wish it on you. The toilets were, in fact, eventually, let me just cut the story short because of time. Eventually, on a Friday night, one guy came there. His name is Okon. I will never forget. He says, how can I be a legible man, big and tall, you be fine man, Abi? You must enter the cell. The cell they wanted to put me into was cells with murderers and bank robbers. They were like a cell that can take about 30 people. They were like 100 in that cell. I said, Oga, I'm not a student. I've explained they know, but because his Ogas were not there on Friday, if they arrest you on a Friday, forget it, you're going to stay in cell till Monday. So Okon was like, this guy, you go escape, but I go finish you tonight. Go talk, say you be thief. I said, okay, please let me enter the cell. You know that this Okon guy cocked this gun, a revolver, and shot the gun. I just said, click. The bullet didn't come out. I said, Oga Okon, please, just put me in the cell. I will stay in the cell. I got into that cell, and luckily my dad had given me money. There was 50 and I was spending then. I entered the cell. I was there with another a bank robber that they sentenced to death. This guy was fresher than me that will come from the outside. That night I couldn't sleep. They were buying black green and white gin with pig milk to make their own Irish cream. I was not giving money, buying cigar and everything. They were doing praise and worship. If you see where they used to pee for people, it was my God. In fact, it's a nightmare. Let me just try and refresh it. They pee inside 50-liter keg of inside the cup and pour it outside the window. There are some people sleeping next to where people pee. I couldn't pee. I couldn't use the toilet. Come Saturday, my dad now came, gave them money and brought me out. My dad paid 33,000 naira as at 1999 that's 3,000 naira per person. Because my dad felt that all these market women that came in that are sending their children to university, they can't afford this thing. My dad paid 3,000 naira for 10 people plus by himself, making 11. You know that they found out, okay, this guy's father has got money on him. They came to arrest me the following Friday to put me in jail again so that my father can come back again and say, my father now come and say, look, Omo, leave the house and go and stay in the lawyer's place. That's how I left. I went to the lawyer's place. Next thing I knew was they now came. They couldn't find me. We now went back there. But guess what happened? You see, things happen for a reason. And I will say this, God works in a miraculous way. Not knowing that the commissioner of police, Abeokuta then, my grandfather was the one that trained him in police college. So when my mother saw his name, they started talking in their local language. Because my mother is not Yoruba. All of them say, you cannot arrest this boy again. Don't ever try it. They call the AD camp. What's that? No, OC legal. If you arrest this boy, I will deal with you. You know that that man, I don't want to mention his name because that man, the commissioner of police, they eventually off the guy. They fired the guy. Eventually, about a year or thereabout, they fired the guy, finished. My head was, in fact, my head was swollen. I think I had 2 heads then. They now took me, my dad took me to the hospital. They had to cut the head, remove all the gunk inside the head, and seal the head back. The mark is still there. The day I'll come to, when I come to Glasgow, I'll show it to you. Jesus. It was a nightmare. Not long after that, I just told myself, I said, Dad, you know what? I was born in the UK. Dad, I want to leave. This was February 1999. February 2000. I left the country and never came back. Wow. So what the very dark man was saying about Bobrisky is true. I am a victim. You've met me one-on-one before, Mayegun. I am a victim. I felt it. I know the rough. And I can tell you the prisons where they are in Abeokuta there. And I'm glad that I survived it. I didn't die. Okon didn't kill me. I went and I came back. Molo Mobo. Mode.
Not many people actually
tell my story today. So when when they're saying about Bobrisky, I'm thinking, wow, this is a reflection of who I was then to bribe the police as 1999. Just around the time that the democracy was coming. So you tell me that the rot is not there today.
It's still there.
The rot is there to today.
5 years after.
My God. Thank you, my brother. That's why I just dropped my little snippet.
Thank
you. God bless. Thank you.
I'll take another one. I think this is becoming quite interesting, though, right? Here. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, ma. How are you?
Hello, Maria. Good general. The general himself.
Yes, ma'am. How are you this evening?
The general Potito.
Amaechi,
I want to speak.
Our
Yes,
time is not that much, but I know you have 1 or 2 things to add to this too as well, right?
Yes, my message is to Palano. Daddy, you disappointed me. You left the main substance. You are pursuing shadow. The main substance is the Godfather. And the money laundering case that they use, they put for corner. That is the main substance. My picking, very dark man, not be the problem. Not be person give and the voice note, one or not go after that one.
At least. They know they mentioned that one in the old
No,
saga.
they just, no, what they want to do is this. Just like before, they sweep everything under the carpet. But you see this matter, they go any under carpet, on top of the roof. Now we go put them. See, Nigeria oppressors listed very well. I am Amaechi. I can't carry all my children from una hand. You see the nonsense. One I take turn all my children to waiting God not created to be, and they come for all of una.
Smart.
My joker card are the preparer. My ego mobile.
Yes, ma'am.
I beg come and not get your direct number. I don't look for you. We need to talk.
Yes. You remember that we were like, we should even like have you on sometime. We are going to have the people's events too. And
that one, I want
to have you on. All of us can have you on the screen.
Yes, we go do that one. But this one, they tell you so. Now regard my joker card.
God bless you, man. I can get
that joker card. You see, that joker card. Let me tell you, people. Nigeria go stand still. All the president of the nation, they go call you thiefnubu, my senior boyfriend. And every demand, I tell you, say, if you not release Nnamdi Kanu, by the time I go play my joker card, the demand it go plenty. And I like her as you know release my pikin. I dey represent mama, not be me Bola. So when I go play,
of course.
yes, when I go play the Joker card, you see all the people who are put for prison, case una not judge, una pack them together last Saturday. Except the criminal inside though, the one wey thief yam to eat, una go release her. The one wey thief goat because he dey hungry, una go release her. The one wey no pressure because they get money, they can go throw them for prison. Una go release her. Not only that, I reserve the remaining one. Now what secret coded so one. But when we go do it, it go happen. When you finish your program, it's very important.
Let's
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mama Echo. God bless
yes,
you.
My love.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Thank you so much, everyone. It seems that we are almost at the tail end now. The reason why this is kind of like going to a little bit overshoot the main time is because I have used the what do you call it, the extra time myself. Like I have used most of your time or part of your time. So that's why we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 more calls and then we'll call it a night. But those who have been trying to call in, okay, you may have a shot. Quick. Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Pause. Keep calling.
Good evening to
How
you.
Are you?
Baba. How are you?
I'm fine. What a broadcast. It was fantastic.
It's an interesting one. Tell me about it.
Yeah, as usual, like you have been saying, Nigeria should be a balkanized nation. There is nothing good about it.
For the sake of the people therein, keeping it together this way is to nobody's advantage. Tell them.
Any person that thinks Nigeria will work is wasting his or her time.
Honestly.
Because Nigeria is founded on a faulty foundation. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The foundation is already destroyed. Nigeria means darkness. That's what Nigeria is. That's the meaning of Nigeria. It means darkness. Like you rightly said, that God, a lot of people fooling themselves that God made Nigeria. No, God didn't make Nigeria. It's a Flora Shaw and is a
colonial thug. Lord Lugard, they called him Lugard.
Lord Lugard. They are the one that created Nigeria. And people are not ashamed. Somebody traveled over 6,000 kilometers, came to your country and gave you a name. You are answering up to date. And if something has not told you that you should change that name. You know?
To start with. They called Ghana Gold Coast because of the gold. They called Nigeria Niger area because of his closeness to River Niger. Gold Coast, Ghana changed their name to Ghana, which they believe is more relative. Is more relatable to them. For Nigeria, no. It's not
is it a lot of, even South Africa, they have changed some certain names.
Even Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe changed their name from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe. There are many like that.
Yeah, so it's just, it's a pity what is up. And the people are being deluded. Any person clamoring for Nigeria, one day Nigeria will kill the person.
Unfortunately.
You know, and there is I love the man that said, I'm always laughing when I hear the thing. The man said, Tinubu, I will curse you. He said, number one,
thiefnubu, I go abuse you. You remember him?
Yes, Ogun go kill Ogun go kill your man.
Remember him?
Ogun go kill your
You never seen this kind of abuse before. Turubu, I must abuse you. Turubu, number one, Ogun kill your pa. Turubu number two, Ogun kill your man. Turubu number three, Ogun kill your children. Turubu number four, Ogun go bury all your family. Turubu is a god to you. A god to you. Turubu is a god to you.
I enjoy it. That is where you play the thing. I will laugh and laugh.
Thank you so much.
Then another thing is that Adeboye has continued to be lying. You know, even though he said he apologized, that's not a sincere apology anyway. And because he said in the first time that he said if people don't pay their tithe,
they're not going to.
They might not. They might not make heaven. But that's not what he said. You understand? Like what you said now is the right thing he said.
That's why he said.
So
exactly.
yeah, and if people are not listening carefully, because he said before that if people don't pay their tithe, they might not go to heaven. No, that's not what he said. He said if you don't pay your tithe, you will not make heaven. Okay. Full stop. That's how we put it. Mm-hmm. And now he's coming to change it. He said if people don't,
dishonest old man.
He might not make heaven, putting a probability clause there. You know, and now he said something about light, that he can be wrong and he can be right at the same time. That's a lie. You're either wrong or right. So yes, you're either wrong or right.
Now that's when he added that. Some of you should be paying 20%, 30%, 40%. Are you crazy?
And people are there listening to that garbage, you know. So, but to your tent, Israel, anyone that wants to hear, have ears to hear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying, you know.
The church. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you so
take care and God bless you. Continue your good work, man.
I will. And God bless you too for your contribution like everyone else, okay? Thank you so much. Now, I think we should call it a night now. I spent 11 minutes of the time we normally used to call, to spend on the phone calls. And I think we've had that back now. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, tomorrow is Sunday. But we're almost at Sunday. So Sunday means that it is still weekend, except for those who are on call for their job and all that. To the rest of us here tonight, thank you so much. To my super chatters, to my coffee buyers, to the likers, to the sharers, to the callers, to the commenters, everyone who is being part of this chat this evening, we have done well. Let's go get some rest. Tomorrow is another day. Good night from here.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́ àní ẹ̀sùn àjò ijó ìgbádìyẹ àní ẹ̀sùn àjò bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o àní ẹ̀sùn àjò bí gómìnà kówó jẹ àní ẹ̀sùn àjò ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá àní ẹ̀sùn àjò aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò àní ẹ̀sùn àjò òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú àní ẹ̀sùn àjò ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.